team and how you can be a part of it. Log on at hughescounty.org and click on the Sheriff's tab. The Hughes County Sheriff's Office says, Go Govs!
Back at Phil Troutner Stadium in Hollister Field, welcome to our Becky Potsdam State Farm pregame show, and welcome to the origination of our broadcast. It's the Hughes County Sheriff's Department broadcast booth in the upper level of the press box here at the stadium with live ticket at side. David Burrell and Brian Oakland ready to go from the Hughes County Sheriff's Department. Thanks to all the men and women of the Sheriff's Office for everything they do, to all first responders as well. We salute you as the Hughes County Sheriff's Department sponsors our broadcast booth. Governors and Watertown for the quarterfinals of the postseason as we take a look at Class 11 AA and how the season came to an end in the regular season. T area with that perfect mark at 9-0. Brookings with their win over the Governors matches the Govs at 7-2, but Brookings had a higher PowerPoint average, so they moved up into the 2 seed in the postseason playoff picture. The Governors falling to the 3 seed. The only difference there is if 2 and 3 happen to play each other next week, well, of course, the 2 seed will host, and that would be Brookings. We'll talk plenty more about that as this night progresses. So Brookings 2, Pierre is the 3 seed. Yankton turned out to be the 4 seed at 5-4 with their record. Mitchell went from being out of the playoff picture 2 weeks ago all the way up to the number 5 seed with a 3-6 mark, back-to-back wins, including beating Watertown 2 weeks ago, 27-13. Watertown fell to the number 6 seed after being number 5 for a couple of weeks. Mitchell, Watertown, Aberdeen Central, and Sturgis all 3-6 marks, but Aberdeen Central is the 7 seed. Sturgis is the 8 seed. Spearfish, Huron, and Douglas on the outside looking in the 11-team Class 11 AA, but only the top 8 make the postseason. So here's what's happening tonight. Top seed T area hosting number 8 Sturgis, and in the 1-8 match, and that is right now
underway already. They started a little earlier. They've just started the second quarter. T is up 21-7 over Sturgis. Titans scored the first 3 touchdowns, but now the Scoopers are on the board.
All right, so 21-7 there, and the winner of that one next week would take on the winner of the 4-5 matchup, which has Yankton hosting the Mitchell Colonels. Brookings is the 2 seed. They host Aberdeen Central, and of course the Governors are the 3 seed here, hosting number 6 Watertown. Other than that T area Sturgis game, all 3 games kicking off at 7 o'clock. There is 11 AAA action going on tonight. The 8 seed is Rapid City Stevens there at Harrisburg, and the 4-5 game has Sioux Falls Lincoln against Sioux Falls Washington. The 2-7 is Brandon Valley hosting Sioux Falls Jefferson, and O'Gorman, the 3 seed, playing host to Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
And the Knights are trying to pull it off, and looks like they will. They're leading Roosevelt 42-28. 2 minutes to go at Howard Wood Field. By the way, Harrisburg underway against Stevens, and as expected, 14-0 Tigers. 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
It never matters what O'Gorman is seeded. They always seem to peak in the postseason. That's the 11 AAA. Here is 11A as we look at the rest of the playoff schedule. Madison unbeaten, the top seed hosting Sioux Falls Christian. West Central goes to Del Rapids. Millbank at number 2, Canton, and Tri-Valley playing at Vermilion. And, well, for those of us in central South Dakota, root for the Vermilion Tanagers. They're coached by former Stanley County Buffalo head coach Tom O'Boyle, and roll damn Tanagers, as coach would say. And he scores in 11A so far.
They all start at 7.
All right, okay. 11B has the top seed Winter Warriors hosting McCook Central Montrose as they look to repeat their championship from a year ago. Wagner goes to Elk Point Jefferson. Bridgewater Emory Ethan is at Sioux Valley, and Beersford playing at Aberdeen Roncalli tonight.
And winners being winners, 16-0. They're leading McCook Central Montrose down the road and winner through 1 quarter.
All right, in the 9-man ranks Class 9 AA, top seed is Hanson. They host returning champion Platte Geddes tonight. That should be a good ball game. Parkston plays host to Garrettson. The Lyman Raiders are on KPLO 94.5 FM as they host the Timberlake Panthers. That'll be at 7 o'clock on DRG Media Group station KPLO. Canastota Freeman goes to Ipswich. Ipswich the 3 seed there. And then in the 9A ranks, the top seed is unbeaten Harriet Selby area. We've got this game on Star 99 KOLY FM as they host Castlewood.
That's in Harriet, and it's another lead for the Wolverines, who are trying to go to 11-0, 14-6 over Castlewood. 4 minutes left, first quarter in here.
All right. Howard is the 2 seed as they host Woolsey Wessington tonight. DeSmet the 3 against Warner on DeSmet's home field, and Wall the 3 seed hosting Gettysburg. All those home teams unbeaten so far in Class 9A. And then in 9B, the top seed is Avon. Avon's kind of rising to the top of the 9B ranks for the first time in a while. They host Alcester Hudson, who defeated Sully Buttes a week ago. Faulkton area is the 2 seed. The Trojans hosting Harding County Bison. Gayville-Vollen playing host to Del Rapids St. Mary. And Potter County in Gettysburg has the Hitchcock-Tulare Patriots in town. They defeated Hitchcock-Tulare by, I believe, 6 points not too long ago in a pretty good ball game, and that game is on KMLO-FM. So there's your playoff picture in all classes of football here in South Dakota here on this quarter-final night. The postseason is upon us. It's Pierre in Watertown here on River 92.7. Though, as we take a 2-minute timeout, we remind you the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety on your way to and from high school sporting events, always as they celebrate being a part of a team. Remind us to buckle up every trip, every time. The South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Conversations with the coaches, including John Hodorff of the Watertown Arrows a little bit later on, but we hear from the head coach of the 4-time reigning state champion Pierre Governors. Next is Keys to Success from Central Dakota Eye Care are on tap. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Hello and happy fall from all of us here at Beck Motor Company of Pierre. My name is Chris Koenig. I purchase vehicles for our pre-owned inventory. With the holiday seasons rapidly approaching, I want to pad your wallet now and give you cash for your car, truck, or SUV. Do not miss your opportunity to possibly get up to thousands more to trade or simply sell us your vehicle. No stress, less time, and money in your pocket. Call me, Chris Koenig, at 605-224-5912 or stop in anytime for a no-obligation appraisal. Hope to see you soon.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Hey DQ fans, we happily invite all of you to join us for Miracle Treat Day, the day when all of your favorite Blizzard flavors come with a much-needed dose of hope. Today, for every Blizzard sold, $1 or more will be donated to your local Children's Miracle Network hospital, making Miracle Treat Day the most satisfying way to give back. Visit your DQ today and bring hope to kids in your community.
There's one place to watch Pierre Governors sports online, and that's liveticket.tv. Go Govs Live is where you can find Pierre Governors sports online. And the folks at Live Ticket thank all of the sponsors that help make sure this all brought to you for free. And if you'd like to sponsor Pierre Governors sports, just call Live Ticket at 833-605-LIVE. That's 833-605-LIVE. Pierre Governors sports. Watch them online with Live Tickets.
All right, let's do Keys to Success. Steve Steele, the head coach of the Governors, coming into the postseason now, Coach. And this is when it's in Governor land. I think this is when everybody gets serious and kind of what we play the whole season for, no doubt about that. But I don't know if you'd call it a disappointment. I think a lot of people expected a home win over Brookings the other night, but maybe a wake-up call, even though it's going to maybe cost you a home game perhaps if things go well in this postseason, but still get you refocused here now going into the postseason, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely disappointing anytime you lose a football game, but, at the end of the day, it's not our last one, and that's ultimately the goal, is that you don't lose your last one. So we're still in a pretty good spot heading into the playoffs. That's where we were last year, so it's not unfamiliar territory, and now we're to the point where we've just got to do everything every game, and we can't lose anymore.
The Brookings Bobcats, I think, defended you better than anybody has all season, maybe even better in Harrisburg in the downfield passing game. You really had to change things up, maybe showing some versatility at times, but what concerns do you have if this is a copycat league, you might say?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we didn't do is score in the red zone. I think we still had a lot of offense offense. We still drove the length of the field. They did a great job stopping the run. Anytime we tried to run the football, we weren't having any success with it. So, and that's the hardest area to throw the ball is, once you get inside the 20, inside the 10. So, they just did a really good job bending, and letting us keeping us in front of them, not letting us score on a big play. And then once we got down there, they're really good at stopping the run, and then they took away a lot of the pass.
Yeah, and they're giving you that a lot of the underneath stuff all game long. It's almost like a game-long prevent, but bend don't break is a recipe for success if defenses can keep that up.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, I was proud of our guys for being patient enough to deal with those unders and move the length of the field. It was frustrating once we got down there, but at the same point in time, some 14-point games you don't do anything on offense. So we felt like we had a lot of positives. We still did have a lot of drop passes, and we felt like we had a lot of areas that we could have scored once we got down there that we just didn't make those plays.
That's the thing I think most people have a hard time with. It's a lot of uncharacteristic stuff that we're not used to seeing. But as you move forward, as long as the kids don't feel that way and they're confident moving forward against the Watertown Arrows, I think you're in good shape.
Yeah, and I think the one thing it did add is it adds a little bit more element of hunger. I think not that we were complacent by any means, but everyone, you go on a winning streak like that, and everyone kind of forgets what it's like to be beaten, and it's a good taste to get before the playoffs when you can't afford it anymore.
Well, and you had that last year too when Brookings beat you, and you kind of turned around and were refocused, and you were able to really, I think, step up your defense, no doubt about it, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. Hopefully everybody else is too.
Yeah, that's going to be the whole thing. We're going to need a complete football game. We can't expect Watertown to come in and do exactly what they did last time on defense and, let us move up and down and drop 50 points. And, they can't expect our defense to do the same thing and allow them to score points. So, that's the fun part about playoffs is for the most part you're playing a team for the second time and who's going to make the different adjustments that are going to win them the football game in the playoffs.
All right, so what adjustments do you have to make to prevent all the points that they scored on you last time?
Defensively, I just think, we tried some different things, but it kind of seemed like we didn't get the pressure that we wanted, at a lot of times, or maybe we got the pressure, but we didn't finish the pressure. Finishing plays is going to be a huge thing on defense. That was another game we didn't tackle particularly well. So just finishing plays is going to be huge, and, if we can finish them in the backfield, then the throw never happens. And then obviously, I thought we actually had pretty good coverage the last time, and we just let them stand around forever, and then all of a sudden had a wide open guy, or they made a perfect throw and a perfect catch.
Yeah, dynamic quarterback and receiver tandem that they have. Do you focus extra attention on that, take your chances with everybody else, or is it everybody just stick to their assignments and make plays that you didn't make before?
Probably a little bit of both. I think early downs you kind of got, you don't want to be so, buttoned into one person, but when we get into the situations where that's definitely what we expect is them to go to their big receiver, then we'll definitely need to have something for them.
Okay, and then offensively, if the things that weren't quite going so well in your last game against Brookings, hopefully they get going again. But do you have anything else that you might start to show in these second time around games?
Yeah, we always have things that we have ready to play. You saw one on the 2-point conversion last week where we had that special formation in. So we've got some of those different things in, and we use them as we need them. But our offensive game plan this week has been more proactive in terms of, okay, if we're Watertown, what do we change this time? And we're trying to figure out what we think they're going to do differently from last time, so that we can then adjust from there and hopefully have a plan for it.
All right, other keys to success for the Arrows tonight.
Limit big plays defensively, and then offensively we've got to continue to take whatever they give us, and move down the field, and 100% in the red zone is the goal tonight.
Maybe throw in a special teams play and get some field position too.
Yeah, that'd help too.
All right, Coach. Well, let's get it started. Go make it happen tonight, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, and head coach Steve Steele of the Pierre Governors. It's the Becky Potts of a State Farm pregame, and our Central Dakota Eye Care keys to success continue next as Brian visits with the head coach of the Watertown Arrows, John Hodorff. Brian and John in 30 seconds on the official voice of Governor Football, River 92.7.
The key to success starts with vision. Hi, this is Dr. Nick Marceau of Central Dakota Eye Care. Yearly comprehensive eye exams are key in detecting eye conditions before symptoms appear. Call us today at 224-6128 to schedule an appointment. New patients always welcome. The staff at Central Dakota Eye Care is proud of our area youth and support their high school activities. Best of luck in today's game. Central Dakota Eye Care, 640 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Better vision for a great life.
All right, with more keys to success, we visit with John Hodorff, the head coach of the Watertown Arrows, coach a return trip to Pierre here. Back a few weeks ago, you came to Pierre, and it was 52-42, just kind of a fun and entertaining ball game. I don't know if you wanted the high-scoring game, but it seems like after that loss, the last couple of games, points have been a little harder to come by. Is the offense sputtering a little bit, or what's happening in Watertown these days?
We had some injuries that have cost us a few plays, few yards and a few possessions and things. We struggled a little bit more defensively and didn't have as many possessions offensively. Well, we struggled a little defensively at Pierre, but the possessions were so fast that we got the ball quite a few times. So offensively, I think we're kind of on track, same place we were when we were in Pierre, but defensively, hopefully we've gotten better.
I guess that makes a lot of sense. 27-13, 20-13, some scores that you've had the last couple of weeks with Mitchell and Yankton. And, ball control, I guess, is certainly something that Pierre is capable, I guess, of putting up big plays, and you guys showed that ability too.
Right, and when you're 30 to 50 yard chunk plays, quite often during a football game, you get a lot more possessions, where when we played Mitchell and Yankton, I think there was only 3, 4, 5 possessions in a quarter. So possessions were harder to come by, and there wasn't as many big plays in those games, and they're just Pierre has way more big play capability, so you have to be aware of that. And then once you start covering that, then the Pierre offense is good enough to run the ball for 20 a shot on you too.
Yeah, and if you're not able to get those big plays against these other opponents, I guess, then that makes you have to go more ball control, and it kind of begs the question, which do you prefer, I guess, if you had your preference of how this game's going to go tonight?
We just want to get our yards how we can get them and try to get on the board. We need to play better defensively to even have a chance to beat Pierre tonight. And if we can do that, then our offense will have a few less possessions, but it'll become a better game for us.
I would think defensively still, you've been able to hold Mitchell and Yankton down a little bit. Like you said, it's just that offensive end that plays need to be made. Any other specifics about what you're looking for against Pierre?
Special teams have to be good, and we've heard the wind is supposed to be really strong there, but I don't know if that's the case now, so I guess we'll see what special teams is going to be a huge part of the game, whether it's kickoff, kick return, punt, making field goals, making extra points, those types of things that could become the outcome of the game that's in the special teams area.
Yeah, I mean, that game again 3 weeks ago was certainly just one where teams showed the capability, and I think the special teams, you've got that kicking game, but it may always come down to that third phase that decides a lot of football games.
For sure, especially if we have a game like we did last time. I think there was like 35 or 40 plays worth of special teams, and you start getting into that, it actually becomes a third of the game.
All right, so how much can you do differently this time? I mean, games rarely go the same way twice. What do you expect to do or hope to do differently here?
No, we just hope to be able to maintain the ball a little bit more than what we did. And defensively, we have to be able to stop the run. Last time we kind of sold out to stopping the pass, and Lincoln Keno's runs for 150, 160 yards, and the running back runs for another 150. So we have to be able to balance up our defense and take away the run game a little bit more than we do the pass game, and hopefully we can stop the path just by doing what we were doing.
Okay, and a little more ball control. Any other keys to success tonight then?
Yes.
That's about it, huh?
Yeah, as few possessions as we can give the Pierre offense, that would be in our benefit.
All right, Coach, appreciate your time once again. Good luck tonight. Thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, at least he was positive about it. John Hodorff, the head coach of the Watertown Arrows. On our Becky Pottsville State Farm pregame, Brian's back with the starting lineups and on the field from Hollister Field at Phil Stadium before the 11AA quarterfinal between Pierre and Watertown. More ahead for you on the official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The Garage Doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
Finances, retirement, and investments can all be confusing. Even though we have access to an infinite amount of information, often there is a disconnect between what we should do and what we are actually doing. That's why at Ranky Gray Wealth Management, our team has devoted over 35 years to bringing clear advice about reaching financial independence. The information you need and how to apply it is as simple as calling Scott and I at 224-5959 or visit rankygray.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial Member FINRA. Investment advice offered through GWM Advisors, a registered investment advisor. GWM and Ranky Gray Wealth Management are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Your cancer care should be as unique as you are. At Avera Breast Center, our team of experts create a treatment plan that will work best for your type of cancer, using the latest screening, radiation, and surgical techniques. You also have access to holistic approaches to help with side effects, and a 24/7 call center for answers to your cancer questions when you need them. Learn more at avera.org/breast or by calling 855-697-2592.
Back at Phil Troutner Stadium, Hollister Field, Brian Oakland along with David Burrell as we continue our Becky Pottsville State Farm pregame show. Starting lineups are being announced on the field for both teams, one at a time it appears, but let's give you the naming of tonight's game officials. Our law on the field. We'll do those first, and then after the break during the national anthem here at the stadium, we'll come back and give you the starting lineups in this one. Starting lineups for the law on the field. The guys in stripes are game officials, brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection. Let's hear that. Let's hear from them first, and then we'll give you the guys in stripes next as our coverage of Governor football continues.
Don't become an online shopping victim. Scammers are using email and text messages as a way to obtain account information. Subject lines range from delivery problems to express delivery notification. Scammers often use well-known names such as Amazon, Walmart, and Costco to name a few. If you get an unexpected message, don't click on any of the links. Go to the company directly to find answers. If you have questions about this or other scams, contact the South Dakota Consumer Protection Division, 1-800-300-1986.
Law on the field tonight. The game officials licensed and assigned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association to officiate this playoff high school football game coming from that Mitchell area. Pretty popular crew as far as Pierre Governor games are concerned, although referee Andy Deinert not in attendance tonight. Scott Sonny will take over the referee duties. Jordan Gow, the normal back judge of this crew, comes up to play the umpire spot. The linesman will be Joe Schroeder and Kevin Deinert on the sides, and Tucker Kingsbury, the fill-in back judge for this officiating crew from the Mitchell and Alexandria areas tonight. Scott Sonny, Jordan Gow, Joe Schroeder, Kevin Deinert, and Tucker Kingsbury. Thanks to those guys for doing what is very often a thankless job officiating high school sports. They are the law on the field tonight. And they're sponsored by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office and their Division of Consumer Protection. Starting lineups for both Watertown and for Pierre coming up from Envirotech after a 3-minute timeout. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Push it, pull it, drag it, haul it, tow it. Just get your trade to Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. Right now, your trade is worth at least $2,500. If it's got a VIN number and on 4 wheels, we'll give you $2,500 for it when you trade it in at Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. Don't wait. This special won't last long. Get $2,500 when you trade yours in at Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit gatewayfordtoyota.com. Limit one $2,500 trade per deal. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. For auto, home, business, and life, contact us today. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance, Life Mutual, Standard of Ohio and Wisconsin Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Call the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC, with offices in Pierre, Oneida, and Gettysburg.
Smart grocery shopping takes a little bit of TLC. Lynn's Dakota Mart in Pierre is thrifty, local, and convenient. Lynn's Dakota Mart prides itself on their fresh produce, high-quality meats, and bakery goods. Grab some Caribou coffee while you shop, too. Lynn's Dakota Mart features a nice selection of beer, wines, and liquor. Stop at Dakota Mart Gas and save up to 20 cents per gallon every day. Take care of your prescription needs at Lynn's Dakota Mart Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Thrifty, local, convenient. Lynn's Dakota Mart in Pierre, your hometown neighborhood market.
This Governor Sports Moment is brought to you by the independent insurance team at Fisher Rounds and Associates in Pierre. 2017 and 18 Pierre Governor girls soccer are definitely two of Pierre's finest. Both teams won AA state championships, the first two for the program. In 2017, the Governors beat O'Gorman. Then in a ferocious snowstorm in 2018 in Rapid City, the Governors topped Stevens 2-0. 2017 and 18 Governor girls soccer, two of Pierre's finest. This Governor Sports Moment presented by Fisher Rounds and Associates in Pierre.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in South Dakota. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Hi, this is Jody from Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. Now is the time to take advantage of our refinance program with rates as low as 2.49%, plus no payments for 90 days. Give me a call at 224-4844 or stop up and meet the new friendly faces at our new location on North Garfield Avenue next to the Northridge Plaza. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Back at Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field and driven by the Office of Highway Safety, who reminds us to slow the drive, arrive alive. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football and your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 KGFX FM Pierre, a member of DRG Media Group, live streaming with the help of Live Ticket at drgnews.com, the River 92.7 page, and also the River 92.7 page of the DRG News app, downloadable for smartphones, sponsored by the Golden Buffalo. With David Burrell here at the stadium, I'm Brian Oakland. Time for the Envirotech starting lineups, and we'll start with the Governors. Couple of changes here, but Lincoln Keenel still running the show, the junior quarterback who is poised to break some school records tonight. We'll talk more about that as the game goes along. Trey Lewis, the sophomore, in at tailback. The wide receivers are Cade Kaiser, the sophomore, Jack Merkwan, the do-everything junior, but also Brecken Kruger getting the start tonight, the 165-pound junior, playing in place of Matthew Hansen, who took a hit and is out due to concussion-like symptoms here this night with the concussion protocol. The offensive line has Kyle Albertson, Gary Nedved, Brady Getz, all seniors, as well as Christian Bush, who is back from injury, the junior, and Jaden Floor, the senior, along the line with Jet Zabel, the talented sophomore tight end as well. Jaden Floor will start at the nose tackle spot. Kyle Albertson gets the start at a defensive tackle tonight, along with the sophomore Emmett Anderson, Chase Sarda, the junior, Josh Strand, a senior who played great last week, Deegan Huska, linebackers Austin Foley, the senior, Gavin Stotts back in there, and Jaden Wiebe in the backfield of the defense, Jacob Mayer, the junior, and Lincoln Keenholz, the junior free safety for Steve Steele and the Pierre Governors. As far as the Arrows are concerned, offensively, watch out for Drew Norberg, the senior quarterback. Juban Hudson back in. He sustained an injury during their matchup with Pierre a few weeks ago, but the sophomore's back in at running back. They've got a talented core of receivers, too, specifically Cole Holden, the 190-pound senior. All seniors, Colin Dingsork, Trevin Rodden, and Reese Stark. The line anchored by Colby Locker, a junior at center, and a big line as well. Spencer Stock is a guard. Jarrett Thiessen's a junior guard. Peyton Johnson, a 300-pounder at right tackle. Chase Crocker gets a start tonight. He is a junior. Arrows are ready to kick off here, but the starting lineups are brought to you by Envirotech and Pierre. Their head coach is John Hodorff.
Watertown won the toss, Brian, but elected to defer, which I thought was pretty interesting, and Pierce said, yeah, we'll take the ball. That's an interesting decision. I thought Watertown would want the ball if they won the toss, but no.
And ball control, we talked with the coach. Maybe they want to keep the ball out of the hands, but of course they're looking ahead to the second half, and hopefully I would think if you're Watertown, you'd like to be right there neck and neck with the Governors through the first half of play, but we'll see how it goes. Kickoff brought to you by Comtech, Electronic and Communication Services in Pierre. Left to right, it is up, and it'll be taken by Jaden Wiebe inside his 5-yard line. Coming up the middle of the field, right to left, gets a seam. He's out to the 30-yard line, far side. He'll get the 40 and the 50. One man to beat to the 40 of Watertown, and the kicker, the Watertown kicker, doing his job and getting him out of there. That is Andrew Check. And a good job in pushing Jaden Wiebe out of bounds, but that's a good start for the Governors, and right away a big special teams play, getting the Govs starting on the Watertown side of the field at about the 30-yard line.
Right at the 29, in fact. That's not a bad way to start. That's a 67-yard kickoff return. Not his longest of the year, of course. He had the one at Douglas, but that's not bad.
So, right away, at the Watertown 29-yard line, here come the Governors with Lincoln Keenholz in the empty backfield. 3 eligible receivers left. Trey Lewis in motion, comes back, reverses, takes the handoff, and he'll go left side. Inside the near hash mark, moving right to left. He'll take a hit from Ben Althoff, one of the talented linebackers, and a 4-yard gain to the 25.
Let me say it again. Lewis had 126 yards in the game here against Watertown. And listen to you remember what John Hodorff said to you, Brian? We got to stop the run, which I thought was an interesting statement.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the best running game that the Governors showed all season was 3 weeks ago, and that 52-42 win over the Watertown Arrows. Lewis again between right guard and right tackle. Another decent gain from the 25, making his way down to the 20, gain of 5, and it should be about 3rd down and a yard.
Well, there you go. They said, okay, you guys couldn't stop this 3 weeks ago. Let's try to do it again, which may open things up, but an interesting strategy here at the start.
3rd and a long yard here for the Governors, already knocking on the door of the red zone. 2 plays in after a long kickoff return from Jaden Wiebe. Lincoln Keenholz option to the right, fakes the pitch, and then he tries to go up against 2 Arrow defenders. Althoff in there again, and he's not going to get the first down, going to be about a half-yard short. Looks like the down marker showing 3rd and 2, and they're going to stop the clock and bring the chains out. They spotted the ball at the 19-yard line.
And that's what they need. That was a good play by Ben Althoff, too. He just stood there, saw that Keenholz tried to cut, and just brought him down at the ankles. This is really, really close.
They stretch it out, and Scott Sonny in the white hat tonight looks like, well, he's not going to point first down. They're going to bring it back to the far hash mark, and the Governors will be inches short. We've already called Ben Althoff's name. We didn't give you the Watertown defense, but Althoff is a 190-pound senior. Mac Johnson and Mac Young, also talented linebacking core in there. So about a foot away, maybe a foot and a half. The Governors will keep their offense on the field. 10:34 left in the opening quarter. 3 plays in, and already Watertown faced with a big defensive play opportunity. The Governors will spread the field. Keenholz is alone in the backfield. 3 wide left, 1 to the short side right. Lincoln going to go straight up the gut, and he'll have enough. About a 2-yard play as he is spun forward inside the 20-yard line down to the 17. First down, Governors, as Keenholz and company will move the chains into the red zone.
When will they throw the ball?
I think for the Governors, it doesn't matter, but it will be interesting because the Governors in the red zone really struggled in their passing offense against the Brookings Bobcats a week ago. Still 3 wide to the left side. Trey Lewis is in the slot, closest to the rest of the bunch. Lincoln wants to throw first time. Now Cade Kaiser might have been a little tentative coming across on the slant. Won't get this one. It's an incomplete pass, falling harmlessly to the ground. Second and 10.
Excuse me, remember with Matthew Hansen out and Brecken Kruger in his place, obviously Merkwan's the main guy, but they may count a little more on Cade Kaiser to catch the ball tonight than they normally do.
And I would throw Jet Zabel, the tight end, in that mix as well. Jet has had some really impressive runs after catch both of the last 2 weeks. So we'll look forward to that. But the first pass, no good. It's second down and 10 from the Watertown 17-yard line. Moving right to left. What wind we've had all day has died down. Keenholz on a keeper. Starts left, cuts back to the right, up the middle of the field. Inside the 15, dragged down to about the 13-yard line. That looks like a pickup of 4. It'll be third down and 6.
Yeah, may I say thank goodness for that wind dying down. It's something both coaches mentioned because the way it had been blowing, it's been blowing here for 3 days in a row. It would have made a difference in this game. Well, it's not blowing much at the end zone to our left now.
A wind advisory with high winds over 30-mile-an-hour gusts all day long, but now I think at most 10 to 15 miles an hour. But the flag seems to be just lightly blowing to our west. Empty backfield, 3rd and 6 for the Governors. Another big offensive opportunity. Quick throw to the right side. The pass is caught, and quite an adjustment here made by Brecken Kruger on the right side. He was the single receiver. Is that Kaiser? That's 5. That's Kaiser out there to the 5-yard line. So Cade with an 8-yard grab. That'll be a first down for the Governors. First completion for Keenholz.
And saw that he was past the marker. Knew where he needed to be to make the catch to make sure the sticks were dropped because it's first and goal.
First down and goal at the 5. 9:05 going left here in the first. Lewis actually was supposed to go left. He cut right, so it's a keeper here for the quarterback. Keenholz will have a flag thrown in at the end of the play as Watertown stops Lincoln Keenholz. But again, Trey Lewis zigged when he should have zagged. That play was, at least in Lincoln Keenholz's mind, was designed to start to the left. He turned to his left to hand it off, and Lewis was a no-show. And we'll check the penalty here.
They would be lucky to have any yards out of this, but it's a face mask on Watertown, so that's a double break for the Governors.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking as late as that flag came in that it would have been in on the end of the play. So I think what you get, have they marked it half the distance? I think you get a yard to the 4 and then half the distance closer to the 2. So the Governors have it. Third down. Nope, it's first down. That is a first down here inside the 5-yard line, so a fresh set. From the 2-yard line, the Governors in great shape, looking to strike first. Lewis in motion. He'll lead the way. Keenholz races to the pylon. Touchdown. Right side, far side, Lincoln Keenholz in from 2 yards out, and the Governors on quarterfinal night are on the board first with a 6-0 lead.
So let me get this right. 6 running plays, 1 passing play on the first drive, 2 passing plays. How about that? So, John, it's what John Hodorff expected, and it's what Pierre did in the first drive.
Well, and again, when you go on a 29-yard drive, you don't need a lot of big plays. The biggest play was the 8-yard reception on third down. But the Governors do what they need to do. Capitalizing on a long Jaden Wiebe kickoff return. Now Cole Peterson in to kick the PAT from regulation distance, and this one is good. So with 8:33 to go in quarter number 1, it's the Governors on top early, 7-0. Watertown, who deferred that opening kick, will get their first crack on offense when we return after this 30-second break. You're listening to Governor Football.
The Golden Buffalo Casino at Lower Brule is proud of our area youth for their competitive spirit and participation in the various high school activities. It takes dedication and commitment to be the best you can be. It's all about sportsmanship and not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game. The Golden Buffalo Casino is your winning destination for great food and more ways to win more often. Our youth, our future. We at the Golden Buffalo Casino.
Join the team and take on your legacy. Since 1862, the South Dakota Army National Guard has been ready to defend our freedom and our way of life. When our nation calls, we are there to help our friends, neighbors, and communities in the event of forest fires, floods, tornadoes, and severe winter storms right here in South Dakota. Now we want you to write the next chapter in our rich history of the South Dakota Army National Guard. Visit their Facebook and Instagram pages or nationalguard.com/SD.
The Pierre Fire Department has a strong
difference right away. The 67-yard kickoff return by Jaden Wiebe helped set up that short drive, and that's why Pierre felt they could take a little more time, but they have, Brian, established the running
Well,
game.
they get an opportunity to see what they can do with that run once again, even though it's not their bread and butter, but it did work against the Arrows last time. Peterson's first kickoff of the night, taken at the 7-yard line by the deep man from Watertown, and this may be Owen Sparts out across the 20 to the 25-yard line, and it is 84.
No, 80. It is Lance Legg, L-E-G-G. He is a sophomore.
All right. So, far hash mark at the 25-yard line. That's where Watertown will start 1st and 10, actually up to the 26, we'll call it. And we'll see what the Arrows can do. Now, for the Governors defensively, who struggled to tackle fundamentally, especially when Cole Holden, their talented receiver, had the football. Tough guy to bring down. The Governors on defense will have to do a better job in that regard here tonight. Starting on 1st and 10, Drew Norberg, also talented at quarterback. The senior starts looking right, wants to go long to that guy, Cole Holden. He's got it at the 40 as the defender falls down, and it's an easy walk in for Cole Holden. And just like that, 74 yards, Watertown strikes on one play.
Jaden Wiebe just got a little bit off balance. And Cole Holden, for a guy his size, he's listed at 190. I don't think he's 190. He's over 200, but he has speed. He is a terrific athlete. And then when a ball gets put in there like Norberg did, a wonderful play for Watertown.
It's really something Pierre fans have grown accustomed to seeing with the Pierre passing offense. But another thing Holden did, he was able to shield Wiebe from that pass. The kick for Andrew Check is up and good on a line drive, and Watertown, again, on one play, strikes back, and we've got a 7-7 tie early on here. That 74-yard touchdown pass as Drew Norberg hooks up with his favorite receiver, Cole Holden. 7-7 tie, 30 seconds, and we're back. We'll hear from Comtech in Pierre. You're listening to Governor Football.
of volunteering for our community since 1881. We have some great men and women who are serving our community, and we are always looking for more quality volunteers. No experience is necessary, as we provide training locally. If you are looking for the next adventure and an opportunity to serve your community, volunteer today. It's as easy as calling 605-7...
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in Riverview RV Park.
And they made the most of it.
Pooch kick here from Andrew Check. Cade Kaiser retreating inside the 30-yard line. Short kick, but also a short return as Owen Sparts is there to bring him down. And pretty good job on special teams here by the Arrows, setting up the Governors on a much longer field than they had when Jaden Wiebe ran that long kickoff return to start this one.
Now will they throw more? And as we have the chance, Brian referred to it, there are a couple of Pierre Governor passing records that Lincoln Keynoles could break tonight. We'll tell you about it when the opportunity arises.
Keenholz in the pistol. Trey Lewis behind him. Play action. Roll out to the right side. Wide open. Jet Zabel underneath. Easy first down to the 40. Up to the 50. Watertown territory to the 47-yard line. And the Governors are on the move here on drive number 2.
All right, well, here's the first one. He needs 126 yards tonight to break Peyton Zabel's career passing record. So that's definitely in sight, and so is another one we'll get to in a bit.
24 yards here on the first play of this drive of Keenholz to Zabel. And again, without Matthew Hansen, maybe Zabel becomes a little bit more of a presence. Now, empty backfield. There's a wide receiver screen. Jack Merkwan. Plays worked several times this season, but Merkwan will be run down by Hunter Wenches off the defensive line. An athletic D lineman in Hunter Wenches. Short gain inside the 45, stopped at the 44. That's just a gain of 2.
Yeah, we saw 3 weeks ago. It's hard to outrun this Watertown defense. They've got some athletes.
So 2nd down and 8 here. The Governors will set up on the near hash mark, moving from right to left. Pierre in road or home green and black. Black jerseys, green pants, green helmets. Inside handoff here to Lewis. There is Wenches making another big stop. And the 2 that they got with Merkwan are wiped away and marked back. Lewis had no chance on that one.
Hunter was waiting for him and read that play perfectly.
So right back to the 46-yard line. Lewis had 9 yards on his first 2 carries, but loses 2 here. It'll be 3rd down and double digits. 3rd and 10 for the Governors. Just across the 50-yard line on the Watertown side of the field. 6:45 counting down. First quarter, 7-7 our score. In motion is Jaden Wiebe in there on offense. I thought they might get dinged on that. Over the middle as Keenholz flips it. It's Kaiser making a diving grab. Down he goes, but he's inside the 20-yard line to the 18.
Wonderful catch. He made a little curl right in front of Cole Holden. And Holden probably didn't think, as I didn't, that Cade would be able to catch up to that ball. He did with a wonderful reception.
28 yards for Cade Kaiser on this grab. And the thing about it looked like Keenholz was tentative. I'm not so sure he thought Kaiser was the open man there, but he flipped it out there off of his back foot, able to throw it 28 yards. Kaiser gets the Governors into the red zone for the 2nd time. Started up again, 6:10, counting down as Pierre looking to take the lead back. Wiebe in motion again. Snap is good. Keenholz looking over the middle, has his man. It's caught at the 5, diving to the goal line a little bit short. Brecken Kruger, as he was tripped up at the 5 by Reese Stark in the defensive backfield. Kruger dives to the 1-yard line. 1st down and goal to go, Pierre.
Well, that's catch number 5. Obviously, Brecken's going to have more of a role tonight, but he knew the route to run there and caught it confidently.
Brecken and Lincoln, of course. Got a little chemistry, cousins. Now, on the doorstep again, Keenholz. He wants to go right up the middle, but a flag thrown here, and we may have a false start that'll mark the Governors back. This play obviously didn't happen. I didn't see anybody jump on that Watertown side.
Nope. By the way, the other record that Lincoln Keenholz very well could break tonight, we mentioned the career passing record. Coming into tonight, he was 150. So they're calling it on Watertown, Brian. But anyway, Keenholz coming in needed 157 to break Peyton Zabel's single-season passing record set 4 years ago.
A lot of great quarterbacks the Govs have had. You go all the way back to, Scott Rislov in the late 90s, who set a lot of records. And then in this run since 2014, Alexander Gray, Brevin Kaiser, Peyton Zabel. There's a high snap, one-hand grab by Keenholz. He takes it up the gut, spins his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Governors.
He was like an outfielder having to come back against the wall, step on the warning track, and catch a line drive. That's how good a catch that was of a really high snap. And remember, Brian told you there have been some movement in this offensive line. But, Lincoln couldn't have handled that any better, and it ends up in 6 points.
Back-to-back runs here for Lincoln. Ending up with pay dirt, short runs, 2, and now this time 1 yard out. Cole Peterson's PAT is a high end-over-end kick, but it's through and true. And the Governors back on top by a touch. It's 14-7 Pierre, 5:25 to go here in our opening quarter of play. Quarterfinal night. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Lake Sharp on the Missouri River. They have all the amenities from full hookups, laundry, showers, dog park, play area, and free Wi-Fi. There's no need to drive across the country. When here in central South Dakota, you can find some of the best fishing and the most spectacular sunrises and sunsets. Call us today at 605-280-6266 or reserve your next camping spot online at briggsrvpark.com. Make Riverview RV Park your home away from home experience.
Service Master of Pierre is your go-to service experts for a wide variety of cleaning needs. Since 2003, we have developed the most effective methods and products to service virtually every type of industry. We're known for our exceptional carpet and upholstery cleaning, but did you know we also offer cleaning of all types of flooring, along with providing fire and water restoration, commercial cleaning, janitorial services, and construction cleanup. Service Master of Pierre is a proud sponsor of TF Riggs Governors and Lady Govs, as well as Stanley County Buffaloes and Lady Buffs activities.
Cole Peterson tries a pooch kick. He'll go right side as Watertown Arrows tried a pooch earlier. But this time Peterson's kick will go out of bounds, and the Arrows will have it at their 35-yard line.
We will keep you updated on scores, but you're interested in what Brookings is doing, I'm sure, with Aberdeen Central at Dana J. Dykow Stadium. 7-all with just under a minute left first quarter. Other scores in 11AA, Yankton 14-0 up at home over Mitchell with a minute left in the first. And T area, no problem with Sturgis in T, 49-7 Titans over the Scoopers at the half.
At halftime there, they started at 6 o'clock. Now here from the 35-yard line, here come the Arrows, rode white jerseys, white pants with the purple helmets. Purple numbers and gold trim on the sleeves. Norbert wants to go long over the middle this time as Colin Dingsor, another fine receiver in that crew. But this time the Governors get two in coverage as Deegan Huska, Jacob Mayer back there. Arrows with one play and a 74-yard touchdown. Their first crack on offense, but this time they'll have to play at least another play.
And Dingsor looked back for a second at Deegan Huska like, didn't you see what he did? And the official said, nah, he didn't do anything.
So second down and 10 here for Watertown. 5:20 to go. First time around these two teams played a 52-42 game. We had a lot of passing, a lot of incomplete passes, a lot of play stoppages due to scoring. It was a long night. Maybe we'll have another one here, but our first look now at Juven Hudson, the sophomore, shifty running back, juking and driving his way to the 40-yard line. That'll be a 5-yard pickup to give the Arrows third down and 5.
And an interesting formation there. One of their other good receivers, Reese Stark, they brought him out of a slot, sent him in an orb motion, and then set him up in the backfield behind Hudson. Pretty interesting.
Decoy movement all over the place. 4 wide, 2 each side. Ball's in the middle of the field for the Arrows as Norberg takes the shotgun snap, looks right, nowhere to go. Tucks and runs. The Governors will run him down. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage with a good effort to avoid a sack, statistically speaking, but Jaden Floor was the first to get to him. And also
Josh Strand,
who played an outstanding game.
Yes.
And I think I'm seeing is that number 8? Somebody's wearing number 8. That's Gavin Stotts wearing number 8 tonight. Oh, is this NFL numbering now from the linebackers? So nothing there on the scramble for Norberg. It's 4th and 5. And a huge kick here for the punter, Cole Holden. A hop taken inside the 10. Jaden Wiebe still has time. We'll have a flag thrown early as Wiebe comes near side. Up across the 20 to the 30 and the 35. Pushed out of bounds, but that flag thrown out back at about the 27-yard line, and most likely that'll be a Governor penalty.
Block in the back. I think everybody saw that.
In fact, there's 2 flags thrown, one on the far side. Maybe they saw the same thing, however, and we'll wait and see what happens. But the Governor defense gets a stop, a 3-and-out, forcing Watertown into a punt. And again, a big one for Cole Holden as he put Wiebe all the way back to about the 9-yard line. About 41 yards on a big line drive.
Scoreboard 9AA, quarterfinal night, of course. Lyman and Timberlake in Presho. Timberlake has taken the lead 6-0. They're midway through the first quarter. That's on 94.5, 100.5 KPLO. With Darren, they call block below the waist is what they called on the Governors here. So it's going to send them back to their 19.
So the Governors will start in their own red zone. I was thinking, is that a half the distance, or I would assume that to be a 15-yard penalty.
I
but
think it is, yes.
At any rate, here we go. Keenholz, empty backfield, near hash mark. Again, from right to left for the Governors, leading 14-7. Keenholz got to unload it early. Well, the receivers on go routes on the far side. Keenholz threw it to nobody. And not so sure you couldn't argue intentional grounding on that one. The officials are probably going to think about this, but yep, and they will throw the flag.
Yeah, because you said it, the go routes, and there wasn't anyone within 20 yards of where that football landed. And again, high school football does not matter where you are. If you throw that ball and nobody's there, that's grounding.
Even if it's miscommunication, one of the receivers missed his route assignment.
Even if it's miscommunication, yeah, it's like one of those things where they say, Brian, you can't assume intent, huh?
Aha.
Yeah,
okay.
They don't take that into account.
All
yeah,
right.
That's a loss of down too. That's a pretty costly penalty.
Brian Oakland here with a call, along with Mr. Technical, David Burrell, and play by the rules, I guess. So this is going to send, all the way back to the 1 yard line?
Well,
that's got to be half the distance to the goal, doesn't it?
It's from where he threw it.
And another 10 yards back?
This is
I'm confused.
Huge costly penalty here. On top of it being a loss of down, the officials are going to make sure where to set this ball in the right place. But well, you talk about communication. That's what you have to have. I know it seems like a picky thing possibly, but the rule's the rule.
Well, Steve Steele's going to get the explanation here. And again, I still wouldn't assume that you would get anything more than half the distance to the goal from the spot of the penalty here. And Keenholz, that play started at the 19-yard line. Yeah, he's probably 8 yards back, but if they're marking 10 yards from the 11, if they mark 10 yards from inside the 10, do they put it in the end zone and call it a safety? I wouldn't think so.
Distance at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they put it outside the 5. So that's what they did, Brian. Half the distance, so it's between the 5 and 6. No, it is at the 1.
It's at the 1 yard line.
My yard line's messed up. Sorry. Ooh.
Well, Keenholz and Lewis are in the backfield. We'll see what the Governors do. It's just more of a challenge, I guess. Scoreboard says 2nd down and 21. Keenholz now is being flushed out in the end zone. Coming back for it, Cade Kaiser makes the grab, but he is out of bounds. Ruled here on the Governor's sideline. Holden was there in coverage, but a ways away. And that'll be an incomplete pass. Kaiser caught the football, unless he juggled it coming down and landing out of bounds, but we couldn't see his feet because of the Governors on that side, so maybe he just didn't have a foot down.
But, Brian, the 2 flags bring up a sore spot for the Governors. They've averaged 64 yards in penalties a game this season, and they were hurt by them last week against Brookings, too.
Yeah, about 9 of them last week, if memory serves. They've had their good games, but they've had some games where they've been 8 to 10 penalties here. Keenholz now in 3rd and a bunch. 21 to go. He's tackled in the end zone by Hunter Wenches. That's a safety for the Watertown Arrows, and Keenholz never saw him coming. He wasn't the only one. I didn't see him coming either. Keenholz wanted to throw long. I think he was just waiting for Kaiser to break free or Kruger. And he was just waiting to unload. Now Coach Steele is talking to the near side official about something again, but this is a sack in the end zone of Lincoln Keenholz and a Watertown safety.
He wasn't blocked. It's just that simple. Hunter Wenches just said thank you very much, and I'm not sure what Steve is arguing about here, but there was just no contest. Hunter Wenches, we mentioned earlier, brother, he's quick. And he got to Keenholz in a hurry. Now the Governors will have to kick it from their 20 and possibly give Watertown good field position and a chance to gain the lead. Ooh, that could be a big play in this game.
So the updated score, now Watertown advances 2, and they trail 14-9 with 3:37 to go in the first. Let's take a quick 30-second break. The Governors will kick when we come back. You're listening to Pierre Postseason Football.
The corner station can be The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your
pass, but things never materialize, and he is sacked by Hunter Wenches in the end zone. Now Keenholz in punt formation on the free kick by the Governors, taken on a hop. This is Ashton first in trouble, and a good return for the Arrows into Governor territory. And Watertown going to be in good shape, as David Burrell just mentioned, with the chance to take the lead on the Pierre Governors here.
And another test right now for this Governor defense, and especially the secondary. Let's see if Drew Norberg tries to go deep again. They have done so. Of course, the first time they did was the touchdown. Tried to go deep on the first play of their second possession. It didn't work out. Let's see how aggressive John Hodorff is right here.
Left to right for the Arrows, west to east here at Phil Troutner Stadium. Norberg in the pistol with Juven Hudson behind him. Draw play, and Hudson takes it on a late handoff. Gavin Stutz has removed number 73, and he's got number 8 on his back. Runs him down from behind, but Hudson about a 5-yard gain inside the 40-yard line. They spot him just inside the 38.
Pretty clever play call there, because Pierre might have been thinking what I was. Oh, boy, are they going to go deep again? And about as long as you can delay on a draw to Juven Hudson.
Hudson almost overran that handoff, but here they go again, second and a long 5. And again, it's Hudson. He's got room here as the Governors will get him low from behind, and Jaden Floor with a nice play. Kyle Albertson in there to help out. As, again, Stotts the last off the pile to the 33-yard line. They'll give him 4, and it'll be third down and a yard. And now it's Watertown who would love to establish the ground game. Maybe keep the Governor defense on the field a little extra time.
Just 35 yards they had. You mentioned Hudson got hurt in the game here 3 weeks ago for them.
3rd and 1, it'll be Hudson again. He stops, redirects, nowhere to go. Austin Foley and company will close it off. Floor is there too. And a loss on the play here for Hudson. They'll put him back to the 34. It'll be 4th and 2.
Boy, hasn't Jaden Floor given the Governors what you would expect from a senior? We talked about him in the middle of last year when he started playing so well. He just was playing so well in special teams, he just had to have more playing time, and he's just kept it up all year this year.
Absolutely. Now 4th and 2, and Watertown, like the Governors, they don't huddle up. They've got the wristbands and things like that. They take their signals from the far side of the field. So a big play here in the first quarter. Minute 45 counting down, 14-9 Govs. Hudson wants to run it again, and he'll be stuffed by Stotts and company. Maybe getting a half a yard, but he'll be nowhere near the 32-yard line that he would need for a first down. The Governors will turn over the Arrows on downs. No gain for Hudson.
Kyle Albertson helped make it happen at the end of the play, too. But you're right, Stotts was the leader in pushing forward, and yeah, really the best chance for Watertown to try to make it there, and Hudson's off to a pretty good start. Boy, a test for the Governor defense, I'd say they passed.
Passed that one. I was actually thinking that'd be a good opportunity for play action for Watertown, but here we go. First down Governors from their 34-yard line, and they still lead 14-9. Now it's Trey Lewis trying to grind some yards out, but the Arrows will push him back as Floor and Christian Bush getting pushed a little bit. Actually, Lewis squirted through that scrum and got a yard diving to the 35-yard line, so a gain for Trey on the play.
And only a yard because Devin Lewis made a very aggressive play from his tackle spot. Moved from end to tackle during the season. A senior. Good play there by Devin.
First quarter winding down, a minute 10 to go. 14-9 Govs, and Keenholz claps, but Kyle Albertson on the left end is the one who will flinch, and this will be a motion penalty pre-snap against the Governors.
This is a senior in Albertson. He's just had some more playing time lately, of course, with the changes the Governors had to make. Well, when Bush got hurt, originally they had to make the changes there, but Albertson maybe still getting used to things.
At least on the left side. He has been in there throughout the season, just a momentary lapse. But again, another challenge here for Pierce, 2nd and 14. 3 wide to the near side, 1 to the far side. Ball's just inside the near hash mark. Keenholz is looking to throw. Nothing over the middle. Pump fake to the left side. Now he'll roll out to the right. Stop, try to cut, still on his feet to the far side, and it's picked off. The pass on the far side picked off. Keenholz underthrew his intended receiver a little bit. Reese Stark, if I'm not mistaken, number 5, cuts in front of the route. And the Arrows turn in another big defensive play. And Lewis, the intended receiver.
Excuse me, for the third time in 2 weeks, Lincoln Keenholz is picked off after he had been only intercepted twice in the last 8 games. Remember, he had a lot of interceptions last year, but that time, and it was just waiting to find someone open. You wonder if Lyman could get downfield too quickly, and I thought, like you, I think Keenholz was going to run, and maybe it's what he should have done.
Well, as soon as he wanted to run, there was a defensive lineman in his way getting through. So the Arrows doing a great job on defense here on the last 2 Pierre possessions. Now Norberg wants to throw. He's flushed out of the pocket. Rolling right, the pass is overthrown. Looking for Holden at the 20-yard line. Jaden Wiebe right there. In fact, Wiebe had a little bit better positioning here, but give credit to the Governor D-line that flushes Drew Norberg out of the pocket this time.
Oh, guess who? Jaden Floor, who gets in the quarterback's grill so much. He has 3.5 sacks. He has 15.5 tackles for losses coming in, and he forced Norberg to throw the ball on the run there and maybe off the wrong foot, and he got a lot under it.
Floor has been playing defensive tackle for most of the season. Hayden Espy on the nose, but game plan decision here, and Espy, or rather Floor, coming in as the nose tackle. There's a pass out to the far side. It is caught. Trevin Rawdon, another fine receiver. Watertown's got a number of them here. This will be close to a first down, and it will be a first down. Inside the 35, they spot it to the 32. Pickup of 10, Rawdon's first grab of the night.
And again, another zipped throw. Rawdon had to turn around quickly to catch it, but he's used to that. Norberg can really fire.
So the Arrows biding their time. I'm not sure how much time would be left on the play clock, but it looks like they'll just wait to go to the second quarter here. 14-9, the Governors. A couple of short Lincoln Keenholz touchdown runs. Watertown with a long 74-yarder. Drew Norberg, Nicole Holden on their first play from scrimmage after the Governors had scored first. But a Watertown safety has them back within 5 as well. And on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard at the end of 1 quarter of play, it's Pierre 14, Watertown 9, the scoreboard from Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Governor Football brought to you on your official home of the Governors by your Pierre Sports Marketing partners, who include Iceberg Funeral Home in Pierre, the Pierre Dental Clinic, Olinger Law Firm, Stulkin Peterson Lingle, Walti Jones LLP, the Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, Red Rosa.
At the crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the crossing.
Graham Tire of Pierre is your premier hometown shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at grahamtire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Welcome back to Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field. Switching directions east to west. Watertown on a 1st and 10 as right away they want to go to the air. We got a flag thrown in the backfield, but as this pass from Norberg down inside the 5-yard line on the far side, broken up by Wiebe, but Watertown will have a holding penalty that appears to will send this one back.
Yep, Scott Sonny was the one who threw the flag, and you usually know what that means when the referee throws the flag.
Flag thrown from behind the line of scrimmage, a couple of yards it appears, and well, it's back to the 42-yard line, so a loss. Well, that's
right at 10.
Loss. Yep, okay. Third penalty marked against the Arrows, but the first one that wasn't half the distance to a goal. Here's Cole Holden. Watch him move. Tough guy to bring down. Wide receiver screen. He's got running room back inside the 30-yard line to the 25. Looked like he was going to pick up the first down and a 20-yard gain and then some, but he is tripped up. between right at about the numbers at what'll be the 24-yard line.
Austin Foley saved him from maybe a touchdown, in fact. And he was the third Governor that had a chance at him. Oh, you're right. And we saw 3 weeks ago how elusive Holden is. By the way, the number for Drew Norberg passing here in the regular season, 395 yards.
In the regular season matchup.
Yep, sir.
Okay.
In that game,
That's a pretty good number.
Keno's had one 400-yard game, the first in Governor history, of course.
2nd and 2, pistol here for Norberg. 2 wide both sides from the far hash mark. Give it to Hudson. He'll bounce out to the left side, first down to the 20, giving chase to the Governors as he cuts back to the 10-yard line, and then brought down by Foley and company down to the 6. There's Juven Hudson, the guy that Arrow fans and especially Governor fans didn't really get to see 3 weeks ago. He was injured early in the game, and Arrows had to go in backup mode, but here's an 18-yard pickup for Juven Hudson.
And he ran pretty well against Yankton last week, too. Really kept the Arrows in that game. But, boy, to have him back and to have him running like they want, this is found money for the Arrows.
I think you could see Juven right away as soon as he takes that handoff. He's bouncing out to the left side. He saw something right away with good vision, which you don't get from sophomores very often. Good gain here now, 1st and goal for Watertown. They trail by 5. They want the lead, but a delay of game apparently here for the Arrows.
How does that happen?
And they're going to be marked back 5 yards. David Burrell saw, you must have seen the back judge counting that one down.
And I don't know how Drew Norberg didn't see him, but he apparently didn't, or didn't have any idea. Let's see if this cost Watertown. They're still in good shape, though.
So it's 1st and goal, but it's back to the 11-yard line. 10:15 clock running, 2nd quarter. Norberg rolling right immediately. Here come the Governors, and it's a strip sack. The Governors have recovered. Chase Sarda gets in there, just grabbed the football right out of the hands of Drew Norberg. He didn't fall on it, he picked it up and advanced a few yards, then takes a hit, but the Governors have it at the 30-yard line. Huge play and the takeaway for Pierre.
Oh, and there's your answer. Let's remember that delay of game penalty, Brian, because it knocked them back, and then the coverage forced Norberg back, and he didn't see Chase Sarda coming. Nope. And what a play he made. And Pierre hanging on to the 5-point lead about 2 minutes into the 2nd quarter. Has the football back. Let's see what they do now.
10:07 to go. 2nd quarter now. The strip sack and the fumble recovery for Chase Sarda. Governors will bunch it up on the line of scrimmage. Keenholz rolling right on 1st down, throwing back across the field. Merkwan has stepped the 40-yard line to the 30 on the catch. Holden giving chase to the 10, to the 5. He'll be dragged down out of bounds, and Jack Merkwan. Oh, that's Jet Zabel making a big play. You see 1, you assume the 7, but that's a 2 instead of a 7. Jet Zabel catches it in stride. And a big play by the tight end, his 2nd big grab of the night.
Where have I heard that name before? He's from pretty good stock. And Brian, you said it right. With Matthew Hansen out, more of an important role for Jet Zabel, and it's all the way to the Watertown 5. He just beat the defender right there, and Lincoln Keenholz put the ball right in his hands.
Well, the Governors disguised that play to the right. They threw back to the left. Perfect throw. Good to see that again. Now 1st and goal at the 5. Keenholz on the rollout, throwing to the goal line. The pass is caught. Touchdown! Jackson Edmond, the tight end, with his first catch of the season. He's been injured all year, but he grabs one for 6, and the Governors turn away the Arrows. They get the takeaway. They turn it into 6 and maybe 7.
His first catch tonight. Remember, he had the one last week. He had one against the Governors' final regular season opponent, Brookings. But nice play on the check down route. Good catch.
So the Governors lead 20-9. Cole Peterson in for the PAT. It's up. Perfect. Boy, he put a charge into that one. So instead of the Governors losing the lead here in the first half, they now lead by a dozen. 21-9 with 9:50 to play in the first half. We'll take a 30-second break. Govs kick. When we return, you're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Scott Darnell with Lee Real Estate in Pierre is ready to help you find your dream home. There are 10 things you need to do to buy or sell your home. Number 1, call him at 605-220-2676, and he'll handle the other 9. As your resident realtor on a bike, he will make buying or selling your home feel like a walk in the park, not an Ironman triathlon. Find him on Facebook or email scott@LeeRealEstatePierre.com. Lee Real Estate and Scott are proud sponsors of Central South Dakota Youth Sports and Events broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
As community.
Well, a sequence, as David Burrow reminds us off microphone, that a delay of game penalty when Watertown had it first and goal at the Pierre 6-yard line. And maybe put into passing mode. They might have been in passing mode anyway, but Chase Sarda comes and gets the strip sack. He recovers it, returns it to the 30-yard line, and then Lincoln Keenholz hooks up with Jet Zabel for 65 yards to the Arrow 5-yard line. Next play, it's Keenholz to Jackson Edmond for 6. Cole Peterson +1. It's 21-9 here, 9:50 to go in the first half.
Would you like, I'll save it for after the kickoff, but let you know what's going on at Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium.
It sounds intriguing.
No, that's why I did it that way.
Peterson will kick left to right. Deep kick, and Watertown will let this one land in the end zone. Sparks over his head, and it's a touchback, so the Arrows will start at first and 10 of the 20. Aberdeen's doing something, I'm guessing.
I teased you. I'm sorry. A minute left in the half. They're even at 14. Brookings and Aberdeen Central at Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium. Remember, the winner of this game gets the winner of that game a week from tomorrow. Yankton over Mitchell, 21-0 in Yankton. 3 minutes left in the third. They start the fourth in T area all over Sturgis. That was the halftime score, 49-7.
And running clock in that second half there. So here come the Arrows. How do they respond after they probably feel they should have taken the lead? But now they lead or trail by 2 scores. They'll go right back to the ground. Not a bad idea. Juven Hudson up the middle from the 20 to the 25. Good 5-yard start here on first down. It'll be 2nd and 5.
But could have been more if it wasn't for Gavin Stotts reaching out now.
36 yards on 7 carries so far for Juven Hudson.
Might as well keep going to him. He's had a good head of steam every time he's carried the ball.
And again, John Hodorff, we talked about big play potential. Hudson here bouncing out. The Governors covering up the short side of the field as Wiebe will get to him and bring him down, as well as Gary Nedved.
And you said earlier, Brian, a good point. He likes to bounce out to the left, and that was working earlier, but he bounced out to the left there, and both Gary and Jaden were waiting for him.
So it'll be 3rd down and 4 here, and Watertown, obviously, good passing offense. The Governors probably going to be waiting for it. They've got trips to the right, Holden alone to the left, trying to break free from Wiebe. Norberg waiting for him. He finally gets an arm's length of space to the Governor's sideline, and the pass is delivered perfectly. What a pass by Drew Norberg, even though it doesn't go very far, but Norberg knew what he wanted, where he wanted to go. Holden, it just took him a while to make the space to the 31-yard line, and they get 5 on 3rd and 4.
And I think that was the check down because Pierre had good coverage, even though it was single coverage, and all 3 of the receivers to the right. But Holden's a pretty good check down option.
I think they wanted him all the way, to be honest with you, but Jaden Wiebe just wouldn't release him. High snap, fumbled handoff, but Hudson hauls it in. He'll be lucky to get back to the 30-yard line. Emmett Anderson, the sophomore who's been starting of late, makes a big stop here. That's a loss on the play for Watertown of a yard.
Hasn't he earned his playing time? He has been around the ball so much in the last 3 or 4. It's kind of like what happened with Floor last year. He keeps making plays. He's got to have more playing time.
Near hash mark, moving right to left is Watertown. 2nd and 11. The Governors leading 21-9 with 7:45 to go in the second quarter. Man in motion is restart. They'll fake the handoff to him. This looks like a broken play, but the Governors are going to crush the quarterback. 3 or 4 or 5. There's Gavin Stotts getting in there again.
Yep, looked like they wanted to do a reverse there, the restart. And Stark was there and just didn't take the football. which was what I think they were expecting to do, and there was no chance. I'll say it again, Drew Norberg was in jail. You like that phrase, right?
So we'll call that. Do we call that a sack? I guess technically.
Absolutely. Yep.
Don't know if it was a passing play. It doesn't really matter, but back to the 25 go the Arrows. So the Governors sack Norberg for the second time tonight. Now 4 wide on 3rd and 16. Hudson waiting for the screen. He's got it to the 25. 30, slips a tackle and cannot slip the second one. Good trip up here by the Governor defenders. Keenholz will get him at the 35. Hudson diving to the 36 for a gain of 9. But well short of a first down on what was 3rd and 16.
And he had one of his linemen, Chase Crocker, right in front of him. Kind of surprised they didn't get called for an ineligible man downfield, but Crocker really impeded Hudson's progress there.
I was watching Hudson on that play. I think he caught that ball even at the line of scrimmage at best, if not behind it. So Crocker right there with him too. So a punting situation, second punt of the night. Here's Holden as he will send Wiebe back in a late fair catch call, but he hauls it in. Ashton, first in trouble, was breathing down his neck, and it'll be a first down coming up for the Governors at their own 26-yard line. But the Governors have induced 2 punts by Watertown. They've stopped them on downs, and they have taken a fumble away on a strip sack after Watertown scored on a long pass in their first play from scrimmage tonight.
9AA on KPLO. Timberlake has scored again, 12-0 over Lyman and Presho. Darren has that on 94.5, 100.5 KPLO. 5 minutes left first half.
Timberlake Panthers. That could be a team that could be a real sleeper in the 9AA rankings there. Lyman's had a great season, just 1 loss. Timberlake just 1 loss as well. Keenholz faking the run up the middle, floats one over the middle as he's looking for 83.
Oh, it's Jet Zabel. It's got a different number on.
I'm seeing like 3 different guys. I think
that is
PA Ryan Munson is mentioning that now too.
Yep. It is Jet. He's just, he's wearing it, if you're watching, he's wearing 83 instead of his normal number 12.
Governors tried that play last week, I think. Keenholz faking the run, but then passing up over the top. Now a 2nd and 10 play. Lewis with a little bit of running room. Gets up to the 30-yard line, grabbed and then thrown forward. And this is number 12 for Watertown, Devin Lewis, who continues to get his name called on defense. Lewis with a 7-yard pickup to the 33-yard line on his 5th carry of the night.
We follow up briefly about Timberlake. Saw them early in the year. They have got a young man named Hank Kraft, who is as fast as anybody in that level of football. He ran all over Stanley County early in the year.
Gets 5'10", and he throws down slam dunks like nobody's business on the basketball court. 5:23 to go. 3rd down play. Governors on 3rd and 3. Keenholz wanting to throw against his body is looking for Kaiser on the far side. Looked like Cade was about to make a great catch, but he was well out of bounds. And the Governor defense will be stopped. And it'll be 4th down and 3. 3 and out here, so the Arrow defense does a good job this time, and they've got plenty of time with 5:15 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, good double coverage, too. It was Reese Stark and Cole Holden who can do the job back there, and they really covered Kaiser well. He still was close to having that foot down in bounds, but not quite.
David Burrow, for what it's worth, as we watch the yardage total, I've got Lincoln at 150 yards on 2, 4, 6, 7 of 12 throwing tonight with a 6-yard touchdown to Jackson Edmond. Magic number was 157, I think.
That's right. Fair catch, by the way, on the punt to Watertown at their own 28. Well, he is now, there are 2 magic numbers. One he's already passed. Lincoln Keenholz is now the career passing leader for a Governor quarterback, passing Peyton Zabel, and 150, so that makes him 7 short of Peyton's single-season record 4 years ago. So 1 record down and another to fall maybe the next time Pierre has the football.
Arrows will set up shop at the 28-yard line after that good punt by Keenholz. Fair catch taken Here comes Reese Stark. They'll get the jet sweep, hand it off this time. Stark finally turns the corner. 30 up to the 35. Run down on the far side by Jacob Mayer. Good ankle tackle in the open field for Jake. But a good gain on first down here for Watertown. They'll give him 7 to the 35.
That wasn't quite the play that for some reason he didn't take the ball. That was a reverse, but as you said, that was just a jet sweep. Reese Stark, we talk about Holden. Stark's got some pretty good wheels, too.
So 2nd and 3 for Watertown. Back to Hudson out of the backfield. He'll get grabbed, but he's still on his feet, and he will spin this way and that way, and it looks like he'll have a first down here ahead of the 35, close to the 39, which would be a yard better than what he needed.
Him and Anderson thought he had him, but not quite in the best position, and that's really not his fault because Hudson just broke away from him and enough for the first down. Big drive here for Watertown, Brian.
And not only that, I would think if you're Watertown, assuming you can go down and score, because that's what your goal is on this drive, but try to keep the Governors from getting the ball back with very much time at all. They know the big play scoring ability by the Governors, even though Watertown's been the team that's shown it too. Over the middle, Dingsor too high, as he has this one just sail over his head at the Governor 35-yard line. Norberg maybe a little adrenaline on that throw, but just could not make the connection. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, our pal Brett Nathaniel, the voice of the Arrows. Watertown Radio, of course, is here, and he was telling us that John Hodorff told him, hey, the main goal, keep this Governor offense off the field as much as they possibly can.
So they throw 74 yards on the first play of the game. Of course. Here's Hudson again, Juven Hudson. Nice run here. This is a guy that just keeps his feet moving forward, churning and burning out across the 40 to the 45 as Austin Foley a little slow in getting up. Hudson will be close to a first down, maybe a yard short, but Austin is up now. But he will come to the sideline to get checked out.
Well, it'll get physical. Now, I don't know if it'll get physical the extent it did last week in that Brookings game, although you never know. That was the standard for this season, wasn't it?
That was. It really was.
Oh, man.
It really was. A lot of hard hitting. Guys are definitely past midseason mode, midseason form right now in the hitting game. 2nd and make it 3rd and 2. Hudson, who got 8 on the last one, gets wrapped up here, but he keeps moving forward again. Actually more in a backpedal mode. Governors got him quickly, but still Hudson strong enough to get 3 yards to the 50-yard line, first down.
Yeah, Gavin Stotts grabbed him, but it was as Hudson was even as he was backpedaling, putting his head down. That made the difference for the extra yard he needed to midfield and moving the sticks.
So, 2nd first down here on this drive that started at the 28, 6th play of it coming up. Norberg back in the pistol, wants to throw, first down. Ready to move up, but he'll throw on an underneath route. Dingsor has it, first catch of the game. First down, Arrows into Pierre territory. Deegan Huska giving chase, but all the way inside the 35-yard line. Nice gain, close to the 30 of about 20 yards, maybe even more.
Even though Dingsor was double covered, he ran a good route and gained 21.
That is the 6th completion. 9 attempts for Drew Norberg tonight. His numbers not so bad either. About 139 yards. Down to 3 minutes to go. First half, 21-9. Governors lead by 12. Hudson's on the move again. He'll get a first down and more, and he keeps his legs moving forward again. Actually, I take that back. I thought he had a first down earlier, but he'll get about 10 yards right to the line to gain, which is the 19-yard line. Another impressive run here for the sophomore, Juven Hudson.
Stotts finally got him, but Hudson was doing some high stepping there, and he wasn't showing off. He was gaining extra yards because of it.
Juven listed at 175 pounds. They want him again. Slips away from the first contact, but Stotts gets him here. And this might even be he'll get forward progress back to the line of scrimmage. Hudson wrapped up here. It looks like he actually loses a yard. It'll still be 2nd and 10.
I know he's the middle backer, but we seem to be calling Gavin Stotts' name a lot tonight.
It seems to be one of these guys who has stepped his game up a little bit. Norberg looking right. He's going to be swallowed up, and he'll go down inside the 25-yard line. Josh Strand is in there for the stop. Loss on the play here as they'll put him back to the 24. Maybe a loss of 5 as much as that one goes.
5th sack of the year for Josh, and that's the second for the Governors tonight. And again, here's the end of the field where Watertown, thought they had the chance a while ago before the penalty set him back inside the red zone again briefly. Watertown needs this.
3rd and 15. Actually, the 3rd sack of the night. Don't forget the strip sack that the Governors had too.
Chase Sarda.
Minute 35 to go, near hash mark. Norberg looking left, looking presumably for Holden. He'll come back and grab it. Nice play here. And that's Stark instead of Holden. Inside the 15-yard line. They'll call it at the 13, a gain of 11. But on 3rd and 15, Watertown going to need a little bit more, and they'll take a timeout to discuss, even though that play went out of bounds to stop the clock. 1:17 to go, 2nd quarter. The Governors on top, 21-9. We'll take a timeout at 60 seconds. Timeouts in our broadcast brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. So grab a Coke and be back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Governor postseason football.
BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Dimmick Cheese has been making handmade artisan cheese for over 90 years and has over 25 flavors of cheese. Stop by the store for sampling of all the cheeses. The store also offers several South Dakota-made products. And at the store, find Remedy Brewing on tap. Dimmick Cheese offers gift boxes, and fundraisers are available. To find out more, go to the website, dimmickdairy.com, or call 605-928-3833. And don't forget to check your local grocery store for their premium cheeses and cheese spreads.
Have all Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back at Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field, the Governor defense trying to keep Watertown at bay here. It's 4th down and about 4 yards to go. The Arrows need to the 10 to the 9-yard line, but the ball resting at the 13 inside the red zone. Big play coming up here. Pierre would love to get a stop here and still have a minute plus to try to go down the length of the field, maybe add on another one.
And all of their timeouts.
Correct. That was actually just the first timeout charge to the Arrows here. 11th play of the drive that started at the 28 for Watertown. 4th down and 4. They'll hand off, but they'll reverse. Stark loses his footing inside the 20-yard line. He goes down. This play goes nowhere except to the Governors.
Now, that's twice they've tried to play like that with results that they did not want. And the slip by Reese Stark really cost them there. So, yes, here's Pierre. 73 seconds. They need 83 yards. But they've shown in the last couple of years that end of first half drives like this have been their specialty to do something big.
Yeah, they've done this quite a bit. So they've got it set at the 22-yard line. Nope, at the 17-yard line. Get our yardage markers right. Stark actually loses yards of about 4 on that last play. Keenholz on 1st down, finds Wiebe near side. He'll step his way out of bounds up ahead of the 25-yard line. Had a good start here for the Governors on a play that goes out of bounds to stop the clock. Is there a flag? There is a flag, however, back at the 15-yard line.
And while it's a hold against Pierre to wipe out a first down gain, but I will tell you, at Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium, at the half, Aberdeen Central 21, Brookings 14. How do you do?
Anything can happen. Aberdeen, we saw some big playability from those guys a couple of weeks ago up at Swisher Field.
Penalties marked back to the 9 here, Brian, so half the distance penalty, but wiped out a good play.
Would have been about an 8-yard pickup. Would have been 2nd and 2. Instead, 1st and about 18, according to the scoreboard. 1:06 to go. Keenholz alone in the backfield. 2 wideouts both sides. He's got protection. Now has to move over to his right. He'll tuck and run. He'll get up across the 10, out of bounds near the 15. And that'd be a gain of about 6. Out of bounds is a good thing if you're the Governors here in the 2-minute drill. And 59 seconds to play.
The good thing for Watertown there was the coverage. Everybody was covered tightly. But Lincoln Keenholz saw that, gained what he could, and stopped that clock without still having to use a timeout. Pierre still got all three.
Talk about recognition of some of these players, and Keenholz, the way he has recognized defenses early on in some of his passes, and I think this might have been a design run, but instead of continuing out to the far side where it looked like he may have had a lot of running room, he tried cutting back up the middle of the field, going the more direct route, but two arrows will put him down. Ben Althoff, I believe, one of them, and Keenholz spilled at the 19, a gain of 4.
And they're letting that clock run, too.
Governors do get the ball to start the second half, so I think they're okay leading 21-9 if that's going to be the case. We'll give Keenholz 4. Actually, it looks like he only got a couple. Call it the 18-yard line. Scoreboard says 3rd and 4. The down marker makes it look more like 3rd and 8. This might be the final play of the first half, so Keenholz going to air it out. Looking for Merkwan at the 40-yard line. Good coverage apparently, but everybody down in front of us, including the Governor's sideline, looking for a flag.
But none is coming.
They're not going to get it. Mason Cordell, good coverage. I'll be honest with you, I thought he had his hands right there all along. Maybe maybe it was a little bit of chipping, but
well, I think Jack fell, actually, Brian. I think that was the no call was correct there, and yeah, he couldn't have been covered any better by Cordell.
But that's the kind of thing Governor fans come to see this year. Keenholz to Merkwan, and so many times long pass plays. It's just been the excitement that is Governor football this season. Didn't happen last week. In fact, Merkwan only had a 9-yard average on 9 catches. Here's a ball taken on a hop by Colin Dingsor at the 40-yard line. Merkwan will shove him out of bounds at the Pierre 40 after a 20-yard return. But there it is, your final play of the first half. And the Governor defense has played pretty well through much of it. Even after Watertown got a quick start, the Governors scored first. Watertown responded in one long play, but since then the Governors with a couple more touchdowns. Watertown's defense gets a safety on the board as well. So your Gales Gas Service scoreboard reads 21-9. The Governors leading the Watertown Arrows at the half. Use their budget plan and keep full service to stay warm all season long with Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Let's take a 3-minute.
Everyone says they want to change the world. But not everyone will. We are not everyone.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Everyone says they want to change the world. but not everyone will. We are not everyone.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Supplies at the paint store in Pierre. They mix paint and they color match paint. They carry interior and exterior stains. Great selection of paint. Find it at 1006 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. The paint store, 605-224-8312, 224-8312. The paint store is a proud supporter of the Stanley County Buffaloes and the Pierre Governors in sports and activities. The paint store, same great paint, same great services.
For over 70 years, Pitt's Design Build has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota.
First half, and it's held up from there, David, 21-9, and there's been offense, but I think, again, the defenses are keeping this game from happening the way the last one did between these two teams.
Well, Brian, I think the defense and the difference in this game is Pierre's defense and the big plays they have been able to make. We talk about what happened after that delay of game penalty, which, as again I say, might have changed the whole game. But they've gotten to Norberg 3 times. One of those, the strip sack right after that penalty by Sarda, and Norberg's had his moments, but he's been under the gun a little bit tonight too. And again, I'll say, Gavin Stotts is playing one of his best games with some inspiration and a little bit of a heavy heart.
Yeah, today I didn't realize it, but I happened to read the obituary. Gavin lost his grandmother, and they laid her to rest today. So our sympathies to Dulcie and his mother and Thomas and the whole Stotts and Bellender families. But I think Gavin's got some good inspiration from Grandma Ma here tonight, playing a great ball game. But again, one thing about Watertown, I'm a little surprised. It seems to me they're not trusting their passing offense a little more than what I feel that they could be. And Juven Hudson's running the ball great for Watertown. They are working on some ball control, but sometimes I think when you need a play, if you're Watertown, I would just think you've got to get the ball to Cole Holden, and they have 3 times, but maybe there were opportunities for more.
There was the first big play, the 74-yarder on their first play of scrimmage. But the Governors secondary, and again, they've had some tough moments this season, but I'll say this, after that first play, they have really tightened it up tonight and forced Norberg to go to checkdowns. He's got good options on the checkdowns, but I don't think this team really wants to do checkdowns very much.
Yeah, I think, and the Governor's always good at making adjustments when they need to be made. So here's how it happened. First drive of the game, Governors go 9 plays after a Jaden Wiebe 67-yard kickoff return to the Watertown 29-yard line, set them up. And the Governors actually took 9 plays, 6 running plays, 3 passes. Lincoln Keenholz ran it in from 2 yards out. Cole Peterson's PAT made it 7-0 with 8:33 to go in the first quarter. But then, after Watertown returns the ensuing kickoff to the 26-yard line, right away it's Drew Norberg to Cole Holden, 74 yards in single coverage. It is Andrew Check with the PAT to make it 7-7, just like that. Governors not rattled. They go 70 yards in 6 plays coming back, 2 minutes and 49 seconds. A couple of long pass plays, one to Jet Zabel, and also one to Cade Kaiser to get him into the red zone, and nice plays made by the Governor receivers on that drive, and Keenholz ran it in from a yard out to make it 14-7. After a Watertown 3-and-out, the Governors had it at their own 19-yard line. Keenholz was called for intentional grounding, and for whatever reason, on a play that started at the 19, the penalty, I'm going to say 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, might have been at about the 11, but the whole 10 yards was awarded on the penalty, and it put the Governors all the way back to the 1-yard line. Doesn't really matter where it is, but the fact is that the Governors in Lincoln Keenholz was sacked a couple of plays later in the end zone by Hunter Winchus by of the Arrows, and a two-pointer for the Watertown defense made it 14-9 with 3:37 left in the first quarter. But Watertown, after the ensuing free kick by the Governors, goes 4-and-out in Pierre territory. However, Pierre, after taking over on their own 34, an interception was thrown by Lincoln Keenholz. Watertown was in good shape. Starting at the 42-yard line, we go to the second quarter, and the Arrows get all the way down to the 6-yard line. But after, as David mentioned, a delay of game penalty gets them back to the 11. It's first and goal from there, but back to throw went Norberg. He is strip sacked by Chase Sarda. Sarda induces the fumble and picks it up and returned it to the 30-yard line. First play from there, a misdirection pass from Lincoln Keenholz, rolling right, throwing left. He hits Jet Zabel in stride. Zabel gets all the way down to the 5-yard line of the Arrows, and then Keenholz hooks up with Jackson Edmond from there for a 5-yard touchdown pass. That at the 9:50 mark of the second quarter. Cole Peterson's PAT, he's 3 for 3, made it 21-9. In fact, the score stood up from there, but Watertown did have one opportunity. They went on a nice drive from their own 28-yard line starting at the 5:09 mark. They go 11 plays, but they turn it over on downs at the Governor 13, trying a double reverse with their wideouts, but restart loses his footing trying to cut up the middle of the field, and the Governors took over from there. They did try to make one long pass play, but the Arrow defense did a nice job, and that's where we are right now. And I did mention at the end of the first half that Pierre gets the second half kickoff. That is not correct. Watertown won the toss. They deferred, so Watertown will get that second half kick. Here are the stats in this one. Very even by my count. I've got Watertown with 193 total yards and the Governors at 192. On the ground for Pierre, 43 yards total. Lincoln Keenholz has 7 carries for 28 yards, including the 2 short touchdown runs of 2 and 1 yard. Trey Lewis, 5 carries for 15 yards. There's your 43. Keenholz threw in the air, 7 out of 13 for 150 yards. Has a touchdown on the pass to Jackson Edmond, but also the one interception. And receiving-wise for the Governors, nobody with more than 2 catches. Jet Zabel has 2 long ones for 89 yards total. Cade Kaiser, 2 catches for 36 yards. Brecken Kruger, playing in place of Matthew Hansen tonight, has a 17-yard hookup. Jackson Edmond got one from, I had 6 yards, but it was a 5-yard touchdown pass. And Jack Merkwan has been held to just 1 catch, a wide receiver screen that only netted him 2 yards, so that's all he's got so far. So again, as it turns out, 149 through the air for Keenholz. He was sacked once for a loss of a yard, so 148 net passing. I'm going to go 191 for the Governors. Total offense with 6 first downs picked up.
But still, that makes Lincoln the Governor's all-time passing yardage leader now, as he has passed Peyton Zabel, and now he needs 8 to tie and 9 to break Peyton Zabel's single-season passing yardage.
All right, so it's an event waiting to happen. Meanwhile, for the Arrows, 193 total yards, including 64 on the ground, 61 of those coming from Juven Hudson on 14 carries. Reese Stark has 2 carries for 3 yards, had 1 for 7, but he lost 4 on his last one. That was that 4th down play. And Drew Norberg with a scramble to avoid a sack. He got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain on that one. But Norberg through the air started great with a 74-yard touchdown pass to Cole Holden, but after that, and all told, 7 of 10, 148 yards, and that 1 touchdown. But he has been sacked for losses unofficially of 19 yards, so I've got Watertown at 129, net passing, along with 64 on the ground and 193 total yards. Cole Holden, 3 catches for 97 yards, including the long touchdown. Colin Dingsor has a 21-yard reception. Trevin Rodden with a 10-yarder. Reese Stark with an 11-yarder, and Juven Hudson got 9 yards on a screen. Watertown with one more first down than the Governors. They've got 7, but they did lose a fumble in a key situation, so both teams with a turnover apiece. Penalties, Watertown, they've been penalized 4 times and marked off 19 yards. Had a couple of them in half the distance situations. Pierre has had 4 penalties marked off against them as well, but for 35 yards unofficially. It's 21-9. The Governors leading Watertown. Should we do scores after the break?
All right, let's take a break, and then I've got interesting scores.
Leiden and Associates, Ameriprise Financial halftime break with scores in the postseason quarterfinal night. Coming back, you're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitts Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We hope you are all enjoying the student productions of your school. Tonight's event and every event produced by your school during the school year are created, filmed, and produced by the students you love to follow and support. Become a booster of your school's live event coverage by becoming a sponsor. It's a great way to show your support of the athletes and students in your community. As a sponsor, you'll get great visibility for your business, organization, or family by supporting the live productions of your school.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Whether you're looking to refinance or finance new auto loan, Owyhee Federal Credit Union has some of the lowest rates in town. Rates as low as 2.55% APR. You have no reason not to check us out. It's easy. Apply online or stop in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre. Owyhee Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union since 1955.
People helping people. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
At Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
Can throw the football, and he's as fast as anybody in or out of the pocket. So I don't know. You have to speculate. Now, Brookings obviously beat Aberdeen Central over the course of the season, but that, if I remember right, was quite a while ago. So Aberdeen, like a lot of teams, Aberdeen, Watertown, Mitchell, who's coming on. I mean, we talk about parity in Class 11 AA, and there's no doubt. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised who wins the football games tonight, except for that T-Area Sturgis game, which is decidedly in T's favor.
Well, we, of course, will keep you updated, probably quite closely later on what's going on in Brookings. Now 4 minutes go on in the third. In fact, it's over in T, and the Titans beat Sturgis 57-10 as expected. T remains unbeaten at 10-0. And yeah, Mitchell was coming on, no doubt about that, but the Yankton Bucks are stopping them tonight at Crane Yarmworth Field. They'll have a running clock in the second half, 35-0 Yankton at halftime. 11 AAA. You mentioned O'Gorman earlier. They came through, beat Sioux Falls Roosevelt tonight 42-28. They're going to get Harrisburg next. The Tigers all over Rapid City Stevens 50-9 just before the finish. Brandon Valley and Sioux Falls Jefferson in a tight one. How about those Cavaliers? Of course, good athletes, even though it's the first year of the program. They have a lot to choose from, but it's Brandon Valley, the defending champs, by a point, 10-9, 4 minutes into the third. And Lincoln leads Washington in the second game in Howard Wood, 17-10 at halftime.
Brandon Valley's played a lot of low-scoring games this year. They just know how to win. And don't forget the Popinga influence in that O'Gorman squad. Those guys know how to get teams to the Dome, even though they've still got another game to go.
Yeah, it seems that guy did that here, didn't he? Yes, he did. Madison, top seed in Lemonade, leading Sioux Falls Christian at the half at Dakota State 21-7. West Central leading Del Rapids late in the third 7-6. Vermilion on top of Tri-Valley 14-7. Tom O'Boyle's team up late in the third. Millbank over Canton at 6-0, 3 minutes to go in the third. 11B, how about those Beresford Watchdogs? The 14th seed has won again after, believe it or not, scoreless regulation at Swisher Field. They beat Aberdeen Roncalli in overtime 7-6. They'll play Bridgewater Emory. Ethan, yeah, the Seahawks, they're the 7th seed, but they're still pretty stout. They beat Sioux Valley tonight 21-8. Winner's going to move on. Warriors over McCook Central Montrose 58-28 early in the fourth. And Elk Point Jefferson, as expected, all over Wagner at halftime, 34-0. We'll get to more, but the second half starts here. Pierre again will kick off. Watertown receives a very crucial drive for the Arrows, Brian, with Pierre up 21-9.
21-9 it is. Second half kickoff like the opening kick, brought to you by Comtech, electronic and communication services, that is, as we try to communicate to you. Services in Pierre. Deep kick for Cole Peterson. He'll send Owen Sparks just into the end zone to the east side. And it'll be a touchback on that Comtech opening kick to start the second half.
9AA on KPLO. Lyman now trailing Timberlake and Presho at the half, 18-6. Hanson is now leading Platte Geddes 12-3 late in the third. Canastota Freeman on top of his switch, 14-0 at the end of three. Of course, Canastota Freeman, the 9A champions from a year ago. And Parkston, boy, have they improved as the season's gone along. 14-0 late in the third. They lead at home over the Blue Dragons of Garrettson.
More of those scores coming up. Welcome back here, Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field. The Arrows will take up offensive position here from their own 20-yard line. They'll go right to left, and they'll go to the ground. And it's Owen Sparts who will get the first carry. Sparts in place of an injured Juven Hudson in the first meeting between these two teams. Played a pretty good ball game then, but a fullback give will net him a couple of yards, and it'll be second down and 8 from the 22-yard line. So just a little bit different look. The Arrows came out in the I formation for the first time tonight. They've got 3 wides instead of 4 now. And going no huddle here. See if the Governors just continue to make the plays when they need to be made, and it's Sparts again. Fooling nobody. Sparts is taken down by the ankles by Kyle Albertson on the right side of the D line, back to the 21-yard line. In fact, this will be a loss of a yard for Owen.
And got in behind him and grabbed him by the ankles. Boy, Kyle made a very good play there.
Tackling is much better so far for the Governors than the first time they played this team, even though they haven't had to deal with Cole Holden near as much as what they did that first time around.
Except for the one big play.
Yeah, you're still kind of waiting for the Arrows to go to him. On 3rd and 9, maybe they will. We'll find out. Norbert, twins in the backfield, but now flushed out. Rolling right, and a man falls down. Dingsor's wide open at the 50-yard line. Jacob Mayer fell down trying to keep pace with him, and Dingsor, you could tell he had that ball and he wanted the last 50 yards before he got the first one. He falls forward into Pierre territory to the 46, but definitely could have had more.
Yeah, he slipped too. And again, we've had some rain this week, not a tremendous amount, but enough to make things a little wet. Dingsor on a drier field could be in the end zone right now.
33 yards on that play. 1st and 10 for the Arrows. It's Hudson, the second man through, and he'll be wrapped up early. In the backfield, he'll drag a couple of Governors to the line of scrimmage. Josh Strand, the first to get him. Deegan Huska's in there as well. And no gain for Juven Hudson.
Yeah, it was Huska who made the first contact on the form tackle. What do they teach you? Grab the guy by the hip, and you're going to stop him, and that's what Deegan did.
Second down just inside Pierre territory here, Watertown. First drive of the second half. Trailing 21-9, we're 2 minutes in. Norberg, iffy snap, but he has it. Now he's throwing long, looking for Holden, who breaks free from Jaden Wiebe. He had a couple of yard cushion, but he just couldn't get to it. The pass barely overthrown by Drew Norberg inside the 15-yard line.
Maybe 2 yards too long at the most. The route couldn't have been run better. Norberg had good protection that time. Boy, isn't it interesting, too. Drew Norberg, you talked, and of course his father is the basketball coach in Watertown and in the Hall of Fame. It comes from a great stock. But this is the first year that Drew Norton has played football since the 8th grade. He's been a golfer the last 3 years. Right after your own heart.
I can't fault him for that.
Oh, no.
All right, 3rd and 10. Norberg needs to throw again. Look out. Here come the Governors, and Emmett Anderson gets through, and a sack back to the Governors' side of the field at the 41-yard line.
Number 2 for Emmett, and there just wasn't any doubt about it. And he is getting high fives at the bench, and brother, did he steam through there. He was not blocked at all. And again, he is earning the playing time he has had lately, and this kid's just a sophomore and still growing.
That's a loss of 12 back to the Watertown 42-yard line. It'll be 4th and 20 plus. And Cole Holden will have to punt for the 3rd time tonight. He bobbles the snap. Now he's got to get away. Oh, he gets the kick away. What a play by Cole Holden. Meanwhile, Jaden Wiebe is down on a knee inside the 20-yard line, and he'll be down right there. Wiebe was waiting to take that ball on a hop, but the second hop was a funny one. And fortunate enough to haul that one in without losing control of it. First down, Governors at the 19.
Maybe we now know why Cole Holden is their punter, because there are a lot of punters that wouldn't have been able to get away from 2 guys. And it was, we broadcasters say rugby punt. That's truly what that was. And that was a great play by Holden to break away and kick it. Pierre thought they'd have the ball 40 yards further than where they do.
That was a 39-yard kick, and completely under duress. But here come the Governors, their first play of the second half. It's Cole Peterson who takes a sweep handoff, but he won't be able to make the corner on the left side, far side. The Arrows will run him down for a big loss on the play, and that is Holden who will run him down.
Guess who? Wouldn't let Cole Peterson turn the corner.
It's a loss of 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 15. Well, let's see. Back to the 12, in fact. That's a loss of 7.
Peterson, a good kicker, but we saw it in soccer season. This is a young man with some speed, and they've started to go to him a little bit in these last couple of games.
I think the Governors just like to show how many weapons they have on offense, and if that means getting a guy like Peterson in the mix, well, go get him. Here comes Keenholz. A lot of running room. Gets a good block here on the near side. Great job. Cade Kaiser to keep restart from approaching the ball carrier, and Lincoln Keenholz flushed out of the pocket, and he runs a long way for a first down to the 32-yard line. A gain of 20.
Oh, man, Kaiser just bratted Colin Dingsler. He just pushed him down like the schoolyard bully who took the younger kid's lunch money. He said, "Get out of here. My quarterback's got to run."
Longest rushing play of the night for Pierre, 20 yards. In fact, they didn't have a single run all night long so far of double figures. Trey Lewis had a 7-yarder. That was the longest. Here's Trey again on first down. He'll get thrown forward for a yard. As bringing him down is Mac Johnson, middle linebacker for the Arrows. Half a yard at best here for Trey. It'll still be 2nd down and 10 at the 32.
But look at Pierre playing ball control now. At a time when maybe it might be the right time to do it.
Ball's inside the near hash mark. Governors moving from left to right here in the 3rd quarter. 7:40 to go. They lead 21-9. Keenholz quick throw. 2nd down. Kruger's got it at the 40-yard line, and Brecken Kruger makes his second grab. Be a couple yards shy of the first down. He's upended right there by Stark. But an 8-yard hook up here from Keenholz to Kruger.
Does he say thanks, cuz, every time he makes a catch?
No, they just talk about it at Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh,
that's
yes,
all.
they will.
Remember that one time? 3rd and a couple here for the Governors. Trips to the right to the near side of the field, but it's the wide side. And there's one man, Kaiser, it looks like, far left. Keenholz Going to keep it himself. He gets through the line of scrimmage, making himself small. Across the 45 to the 50-yard line to Watertown's 49. And I think Watertown may have thought that they were bottled up. Looks like Mason Cordell slow in getting up for the Arrows on an 11-yard gain here for Keenholz.
Because it was Keenholz. He was the one Keenholz ran over. He looked like Gale Sayers putting his head down on that play. All right, here are the question marks from the Young listeners. Who was Gale Sayers? Oh, he was a great one.
Google it. Cordell still getting a little bit of help. The Arrows are going to go to the far side just to gather a little bit. Governors have been able to do the same thing here. A little bit of an injury timeout on the field. Timeouts of any kind sponsored in our broadcast by Coca-Cola Bottling of Pierre.
Well, 9A, let's get back to the playoff scoreboard. While we have a moment, Harriet Selby area unbeaten but being given all they want by Castlewood. Wolverines do lead. It's 40-32 in Harriet. Start of the fourth quarter, and that is on Star 99. We'll get back to more in a bit.
So just across the 50-yard line, the Governors get a fresh set of downs on an 11-yard scamper by Lincoln Keenholz straight up the middle. 3 receivers right, 1 left again here. Ball closer to the far hash mark this time. Left to right they head. Keenholz wants to run again. He'll follow Christian Bush. Spins at the 45, and he'll make his way down to around the 40-yard line. Close to a first down. Looks like he'll get 9.
Gale Sayers didn't spin like that.
I think Gale Sayers just ran past everybody.
Yeah.
Lincoln's 10th carry of the night. He's got 40 yards on 3 carries in the second half, 68 yards total. Here come the Governors. First drive for the Govs in the second half. They stopped Watertown, forcing a punt on the first possession since halftime. Keenholz looking to throw, looking for Merkwan. 10-yard line, he's got it! Touchdown, Jack Merkwan! Merkwan battling with Colin Dingsor, single covered. And he just broke free at the last moment, sticks his arms out, had it at the 8, and he walks in for a 40-yard score.
And Peyton Zabel again says, congratulations, there's another of my records gone. Lincoln Keenholz is now the single-season yardage record holder in Pierre Governor history. And by the way, career touchdown number 15, or number 17 and 15th this year. We'll tell you about the significance of that in a bit.
Cole Peterson, PAT, is up and good. The Governors tack on to make the score 28-9. We're exactly halfway through quarter number 3. 6 minutes to go and a 30-second break. You're listening to Pierre Governor postseason football.
You can't put a price on safety. That's why John Deere safes are priceless. This week, Grossenberg Implement is offering 8% discount on all in-stock safes. Each has a lifetime repair or replacement warranty against break-in, attempted break-in, and fire damage. Plus, they are beautiful enough with several different styles to choose from.
If you're hunting for a great deal on your next ride, get into Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. We're locked and loaded on all of our new and used inventory, like this 2018 Toyota Highlander, only $28,495. Looking for low price reliability? Try a 2011 Honda Accord for only $6,995. Who wants a loaded up truck? We have a 2014 Chevy Silverado 1500 LTZ for only $17,995. Get to Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 518 East Sioux Avenue. Call 605-224-7378 and visit Gateway F.
The Fieldhouse in Pierre is your premier spot to watch all the sports, from your local Govs and Lady Govs, as well as Buffs and Lady Buffs, all the way up to your favorite big league teams. Kick back and relax with a pizza, nachos, burgers, or one of our air.
Well, our pal up here said it right. He did it smart. That's why he got away with it. Right?
We'll take. He knows him better than we do.
Yep.
Actually, I coached Jack in bowling, but that's about it. Anyway, the ensuing kickoff here, and a near side return for Owen Sparts from the 8-yard line out across the 25, dropped at the 26. It'll be Arrow football, trailing 28-9.
And as I mentioned, career touchdown reception number 17 for Jack Merkwan, and the 15th this year. So that puts him second now. He was tied with Jack Marr, who had 16, but the leader, of course, now the South Dakota State Jackrabbit, Reagan Bolway.
Bolway,
he
how
had
about
20.
that?
Yep. 20 in the last 2 seasons, and a marvelous senior year for Reagan last year.
So the Arrows, we'll see if they'll try to throw the football just a little bit more.
Might be to the point where they have to, Brian.
Trailing by three scores now. 28-9. Reese Stark will start in motion, and Norberg wants to throw right away. Steps up in the pocket, nowhere to go, but down. The Governors get to him again. And it is Emmett Anderson, 51, getting off the bottom. His third sack of the night. A loss back to the 21, drops him for 5.
And the 4th sack overall for the Governors. And again, coverage makes the difference. We said the secondary has adjusted. By the way, they got a defensive coordinator who knows how to coach a little bit, Sean Lewis.
Well, and you've seen what Coach Lewis does. We mentioned it briefly earlier. The second time around, when the Govs play a team, they just know how to make the adjustments, and the kids just follow through. They follow the plan. Strand wraps him up. There will be a flag thrown in the secondary, a short hop pass on a short throw. It's incomplete, intended for Cole Holden, out to about the 30-yard line, but we'll check the infraction here. And as long as that play took to develop, with a pass thrown in the defensive backfield, you kind of assume this one going to be against the Governors. Jacob Mayer was there in coverage.
Given where the flag was thrown, that would be the guess. It's defensive holding.
So this one will be a big break for the Arrows. And even defensive holding is 10 yards, if I'm not mistaken, in high school football. That down marker just continues to walk, and they'll put him back to the 31-yard line. So the 4th 10-yard penalty marked against the Governors in this ball game.
Not an automatic first down, but a big help for Watertown.
2nd and 5 now. To the ground they'll go. And Hudson with a spin move. Few yards here. Looks like he'll get the 34, but still has a couple to go.
9A quarterfinals, more scores. Wall leading at home over Gregory. Eagles unbeaten 27-12, late 4th. DeSmet on top of Warner, 18-8, 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Howard over Wolsey Wessington, 39-6 with 4 minutes to go. Harriet Selby area's lead on Corey Castlewood now 46-32 in the 4th. So maybe the 4 unbeaten teams in 9A will all stay that way.
Only one of those having an easy ball game, though, that being the Howard Tigers, who were my pick at the beginning of the season to win that class. Anyway, Dingsor with a swing pass out to the right side. He'll turn it upfield and get put out of bounds, but not until he's got the first down picked up ahead of the 35, spotted at the 37. It's just a 3-yard gain, but a first down for the Arrows.
Not a bad pick. By the way, Potter County trailed earlier to Hitchcock-Tulare in 9B. Now the Battlers have the lead in Gettysburg, 28-8 late in the 3rd. That's on 100.7 KMLO.
Good ball games here, and you still got to appreciate the 9-man football game. First down here, Norberg looking to throw. Steps up in the pocket. The Governors get him again. This time it's Brady Getz. And as Norberg stepped up, he just didn't see Getz, who gets him low. Legal tackle right on the ankles.
How much was he missed when he was out for a while earlier in the year? Yeah, he doesn't play a whole lot of defense. He's important on the offensive line, but a really nice play there.
I think Brady Getz is just an athletic defensive lineman. None of the Governor D-line or O-linemen are really big, save maybe for Christian Bush, but it's just good athletes who are learning on the fly. Protection here, Norberg going to overshoot Reese Stark, and Stark's going to come down funny on his ankle here. He got undercut a little bit by Deegan Huska as this pass was overthrown, and kind of saw Stark get twisted up.
And I'm a little surprised there's not a flag out.
Really could have been. I mean, for pass interference, I'm sure is what you're talking about. But the pass, I believe what the officials would say, and what I thought, the pass was past the receiver when Stark went up to try to reach it. But the important thing is, now I was worried Huska might have gotten him in the back, but you could see Reese Stark, when he came down to the ground, just got his ankle or his knee twisted. They're working on the lower right leg here on the near side. So we've got an injury timeout, even though he'll be helped up and then helped off the field. He's really going to be favoring that right leg, and we certainly hope Reese Stark will be back. It looks like he's starting to put a little bit of weight on it now, but 3:44 to go. By the way, timeouts brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. Ryan Oakland with David Burrow. Pierre postseason football here at Hollister Field. Live ticket is live streaming. You'll be able to see this game on drgnews.com on demand when it is as soon as we sign off on this one. Of course, we're live streaming through liveticket.tv and gogovs.live as well.
Another update from Brookings when we get a chance.
3rd and 15, though. Arrows have it at the 32-yard line. Norbert throws the screen. The Governors cover it up. And the Governor defense just seems to know what the Arrows are doing. This is a pass complete to Cole Holden, but he is hit at the 28-yard line, and this is a loss of 4 on the play, and the Arrows will have to punt, most likely.
That was catch the ball and then you're down. And this defense is everywhere they needed to be. And again, after the first big play, that's how it's been.
So 4th and a long way. Holden almost got it blocked, but it's a line drive kick, and it takes a Watertown bounce, but to the far side. Still a fairly short kick, especially by Holden standards. Pierre will have it at their own 40-yard line or so, as they lead 28-9 here in the 3rd.
And doesn't this remind you of what happened in the postseason last year after the Mitchell game? The Governors knew they had to bring their defense out for the semifinal at Yankton and then the championship game against Brookings, and they did it. Speaking of Brookings, a minute left in the 3rd. They've had a wild 3rd quarter. Aberdeen Central still leading Brookings. It is now 35-28.
Keenholz goes on 1st down, rolling right, looking. He'll stay with the underneath route. Checking it down to Cade Kaiser, who is hit by Colin Dingsor. Short gain, but a modest gain on 1st down. You're never going to be upset about a 6-yard pickup to make it 2nd and 4, or even 7 to make it 2nd and 3 in this case.
Yeah, Cade felt it, though. I mean, it was a clean hit. It was a good hard hit by Dingsor. It took Cade to come off, a couple of minutes to come up off the bench, but now he's wide to the left.
Near hash mark 2nd and 3. Keep in mind, if Brookings loses that game and the Governors happen to win this one, Governors will get a home game next Friday night. Here goes Trey Lewis taking the handoff, hit early and brought down. And that's all we'll say about that. We've got a lot of ball game to go on both locations. Lewis for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Now the 3rd quarter complete at Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium. Aberdeen Central 35, Brookings 28. We'll keep you updated, of course.
Correction, a yard for Lewis, the sophomore. Now 3rd down and 2 as the Governors approach midfield. Keenholz looking for the right signal and communication. Looking at Coach Steve Steele down in front of us, it almost looked like Steve just said, well, you call the play. We'll see what happens. 2:15 to go, 3rd quarter. Govs on top by 19. Keenholz with a quick fire has Merkwan for the 1st down into Arrow territory. Catches it at the 40. Tackled by Dingsor to the 38. 1st down Govs.
Good play.
And a pickup of 14 yards.
Good quick hitter. And again, shows you how versatile receiver Merkwan is. Big plays, but caught that screen earlier. Good quick hitter there, just knowing they needed to move the sticks. And really, Pierre's still playing ball control.
You know, it's one thing to be a big play receiver. It's another to be a possession receiver, a guy that you can count on, like Steve Largent, to pick up a 1st down or something like that. And I think Merkwan's showing, as you said, the versatility. So a 1st down play is a handoff to Lewis. He has to cut back early up the hash mark, and he'll pick up a couple of yards, but I think a pretty good job at doing that as the Arrows cover it up.
Did Steve Largent ever drop a pass? I don't remember ever seeing him drop a pass. I'm sure he did at some point, but he didn't drop many, that's for sure.
2 to the 36 for Lewis. Saw Mason Cordell in around the end of that play. He was dinged up earlier, but is back at it for the Arrows on defense. 2nd down and 8 here. Near hash mark as the Govs travel west to east. That's left to right here as we approach the final minute of the 3rd. Over the top. Keenholz looking for Merkwan again. No, not this time. He broke free at the 2-yard line. Dingsor and Merkwan in a single coverage battle again. Merkwan had it, but this time just couldn't get the hands in position. It goes right through his arms, incomplete. And the Arrows get a big bullet dodge.
Excuse me, a little bit of hand fighting, but nothing to call there.
I think there you saw it both both.
Sure.
From both players.
And when that happens, they'll let that go just about every time, and should.
Even incomplete passes, though, how beautiful is it to see Lincoln Keenholz just throw the football? It's effortless.
Yeah.
3rd and 8. Keenholz going to be pressured, but he throws, has Merkwan close to a first down. Actually, he'll get pushed back, and it looked like he regained his positioning back to the 30-yard line, and that instead of being a yard short, it looks like he'll be back maybe 2 yards off the line to gain, and for what will be a fourth down play coming up. 2 to go, gain of 6.
2 minutes into the fourth quarter, Aberdeen Central is now inside the Brookings 35, leading 35-28. Yes, I'm trying to watch 2 games at once.
Technology.
Isn't it great?
Governors might be able to let the play clock wind down, or the game clock wind down here. 15 ticks to go, third quarter. Halftime score was 21-9. The Governors with a 40-yard touchdown. Keenholz to Merkwan have upped the score to 28-9. That's what it'll be when we go to the fourth quarter for a 4th and 2 for the Governors. On the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, though, the Governors, again, leading by 3 scores with 12 minutes to play. Scoreboard.
Wash down the food with your pick from our array of premium beverages. Between the action, be sure to check out the unique and plentiful memorabilia throughout the building. We can't wait for you to come in and watch the games with us broadcast on liveticket.tv. The Fieldhouse in Pierre.
DRG Media Group Sports is the official voice of the Pierre Governors.
Keenholz wants to run again, and he's got room. 40, 30, foot race to the 10, 5, and a touchdown. Pierre will come back and set up Avery Kaiser on the outside left through the block, and that's down.
The official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92.7, and also at the River 92.7 page of the DRG News app, brought to you by Golden Buffalo and DRGnews.com.
Limestone canyons, flowing waterfalls, and pristine beauty make Spearfish a sanctuary for those seeking the ultimate escape. Outdoor enthusiasts will find top-notch sport climbing, mountain biking, and UTV OHV trails. Guests are steps away from peaceful hiking trails and tranquil streams. Relax and rehash your day's adventure at one of our award-winning local breweries. Finding rest is an important part of any adventure. Lodging in Spearfish comes with a variety of choices, from cabins, B&Bs, and campgrounds to the comforts of your popular brand-name hotels. To find your unique adventure in Spearfish, go to visitspearfish.com now.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but Pierre Governor Sports and your official voice of the Governors is also brought to you in part by your Pierre Sports Marketing sponsors, who include Bank West, the Brittany Shufflebine Agency, Beck Motors, Dakota Storm Roofing, and the Dairy Queen. Also our friends at Live Ticket doing the live video streaming, Overhead Door, Ricky Gray Wealth Management, Avera Orthopedics, and Gateway Ford, Lincoln Toyota. Pierre Sports Marketing sponsors.
Offense still on the field here for Watertown, Brian. They got to take this chance now, you think?
It is 4th and 2. Governors with the football. Lincoln Keenholz alone in the backfield will fake the run. Now he's got to throw, but here come the arrows, and they'll get to Keenholz. Quarterback sacked, so the Governors couldn't sell it this time. And a good job in defense by number 27, Austin Johnson. Johnson got a spot start on the defensive end tonight. Didn't start the last game these two teams played for the Arrows. So a loss of 4 on the play. It was 4th down. Not the worst thing in the world for the Governors, but still a turnover on downs, and Watertown probably going to feel very good about themselves here with that defensive stand.
And the coverage was good. That led to the sack, and the time's now for Watertown. We may wonder, might they run the ball now? I wouldn't think there'd be much of that left for them, do you?
Well, it's a 3-possession game, full quarter to go. We'll see what happens. First down. Ashton First in trouble is in motion as Norberg still looking for somebody to throw to. Now he'll come back to it, and the Governors will pick it off. Jaden Weeby able to jump the route because he's covering Cole Holden all day long on that play. Holden trying to help out his quarterback. Weeby right there with him, and he's able to get the inside position for a takeaway for the Governors.
And again, Holden is a great option on a check down, but even a better play by Jaden Weeby. Right in front of him to step in front. Couldn't have timed it any better. And really, he could read Drew Norberg's eyes, too. He could see that Norberg had to go to Holden. Weeby jumped the route. Pierre's in great shape potentially now.
So 2 plays in, one by Pierre, one by Watertown here in the fourth quarter, but the Governors have it back. Keenholz wants that same play. They went long earlier to Jet Zabel. It's Zabel again, but he'll be covered this time. And the Governor fans will most likely be a little restless off of this one as well. I believe that was Mac Young, the linebacker, in coverage. Good job, Mac.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't grabbed until the ball was passed.
Governors will have it back at the 37-yard line of the Watertown Arrows, 2nd down and 10.
Brookings had a turnover, so they have the ball back against Aberdeen Central in Brookings at Jana J. Dykehouse. 9 minutes left, still Aberdeen Central 35, Brookings 28.
th pass attempt of the night for Lincoln Keenholz. He's completed 12 of them. I've got him at 2 1/4 now. Here's a pitch back this time. Flag is thrown quickly. Probably a hold on the Governors, but Hunter Wenches will wrap up the ball carrier, Trey Lewis. And Lewis picking up 5, but this one probably comes back as the flag rests a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage at the 39-yard line.
And again, Scott Sawney threw it. So, yep, it's holding on Pierre. And again, yeah, they're ahead. But and again, it hasn't been an inordinate number yet, but again, you got to think if they make it to the semifinal or beyond, the penalties are going to have to be cut down.
So this one, a 12-yard loss, playing, committed 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So from the 37, they go to the 49. It is 2nd down and 22. Keenholz will be left alone in the backfield as you've got 3 receivers right. Lewis, Kruger, and Kaiser. Merkwan alone to the left. Stop and go. He hooks back. He's got it at the 40-yard line. As Ashton first in trouble there in coverage. Ben Althoff comes in to put the final blow on him here. And he'll bring him down for a 10-yard gain at the 39.
First in trouble did the best he could there, but that stop and go brought by Merkwan was what allowed him to make the reception.
Jack had 1 catch in the first half for only 2 yards. Then he got a 40-yard touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Now he's got 5 grabs for 72 yards. That's more like a Merkwan kind of night. First minute gone by here, 4th quarter, 28-9, Governors in front. With a 3rd down and a dozen here from the near hash mark. Quarterback draw. Keenholz with room to run. Flag down behind the play, but he's all the way inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. And Scott Sawney says holding again.
Yeah, Brady Getz was in a tussle with one of the Arrows, and it continued even after the point. I think he was the one who got caught. But this one's getting physical. Ashton Gray for Brookings has just run the Bobcats into the red zone. They're at the 20, trailing Aberdeen Central 35-28, just over 7 minutes to play. Here comes another flag.
Sawney just dinged up the Governor bench.
Well,
I believe, I don't know, somebody probably said something, and Sawney just threw the flag as high up in the air as he could. That's going to be a 2nd flag on this one, and the Governors are going to get marked back another 15 yards in addition to the penalty already.
Well, he made the sideline warning signal, Brian, but Scott sure threw the flag emphatically, and Steve Steele is still speaking his mind here. Steve, you remember, wasn't very happy about what happened at the end of the game last week with Matthew Hansen, of course.
Well, the interesting thing is it's the same officiating crew. They drew this assignment, so and we're not saying they're a bad officiating crew. It's a veteran crew. They've been around the block a long time, but for whatever reason, Coach Steele has had he's had conversations with them from time to time. So whatever the case is, the Governors have been marked all the way back to their own 47-yard line. That last play originated at the 39 of the Governors, so they have ultimately lost, only 14 yards, but they were already 3rd in double digits. Now the scoreboard says, it's 3rd and 21 on the board, but they've got more than that to go. Here's Merkwan, who's getting another big hit from Ben Althoff, as first in trouble had him, and I think that's what Coach Steele's, among other things, getting so upset about.
And Steve Steele just leapt his feet and made another big shout to one of the officials saying, hey, look what he's doing. No flag this time, but look, and if you folks know Steve Steele, and we both know, he's one of the easiest going guys we know. So for him to be this upset really takes something. And Pearson punt formation here after
that's a 9-yard pickup, and it'd probably be all right for the Governors to get rid of the football. But I think this is the second time that Ben Althoff has come in and really gotten Merkwan in the backside. Good kick here. First in trouble, muffs it at the 10, picks it up, trying to make some progress, but he'll get hit right away, and Cade Kaiser will knock him to the ground to the 9-yard line. So a 35-yard punt for Keenhol's net. And Watertown going to be backed up deep in their own red zone.
Oh, excuse me, but they are not. Brookings scores a touchdown with 5:33 left, but the extra point is missed. Aberdeen Central 35, Brookings 34, 5:33 left on the SDSU campus.
That's high school football for you.
Hunter Gray, by the way, with a touchdown run.
10-14 to go. Watertown still trailing 28-9. They'll go on offense. Their defense came up big. Of course, Governors helped them out with a couple of penalties. But Watertown still backed up, and Drew Norberg is by himself with in the backfield with 5 wide. 3 to the left side, the far side of the field. He tries to throw underneath, and it's knocked down. Getting up there and knocking it down is DeAndre Burnt of the Governors.
He's done that a few times this year. In fact, lately.
Dre is, he started a couple of ball games early, had a huge defensive touchdown and a win over a gritty, gutty Sturgis team back in the third game of the season. And he's just picked his spots. When he gets in there, he's been able to make plays. A taller linebacker, got long arms, was able to knock this one down. Second and 10. Arrows have it. Still a lot of time left in this game, 10 minutes plus. This is first in trouble on a jet sweep, right to left. He'll be wrapped up. A loss back to the 6. And it doesn't matter who gets the football. The Governors are getting to the ball carriers.
Another great play by Chase Sarda. Grabbed him by the shoulder pads and brought him down. Chase is having a pretty good football game.
Looking at this one back to the 7. We'll call it a loss of 2. I believe Ashton first in trouble playing in place of Reese Stark, who was out to an ankle injury a couple of possessions ago. Now Norberg over the middle, and first in trouble is covered near the line to gain by Austin Foley. This is Trevin Rodden was on a go route against Jack Merkwan on the near side. Norberg with another incompletion. And Watertown is in no position here to go for it at their own 7-yard line on 4th and 12.
Yeah, Rodden had some room, too. I wonder if Norberg didn't see him. Because
well, I don't think he had time to throw it. He's running for his life in the backfield all night long here. And, and this just didn't happen the first time these two teams met. And now Norberg, I'm sure he's gotten rattled at times over the course of the season. Watertown is 3-6, but it's a different kind of ball game here tonight. And we've got more extracurriculars as Jaden Wiebe takes a fair catch of this punt. Ashton first in trouble and Jacob Mayer get caught up together back at the 15-yard line, nowhere near the location of the football. And I think both of these teams on the field are just starting to get on each other's nerves, and that's unfortunate.
Well, think of what Watertown's been through. Week 2, they get beaten a Hail Mary, which is absolutely one of the flukiest plays you've ever seen, and I'm sure you saw it, by Sioux Falls Lincoln. 2 weeks later, they almost get beat on another Hail Mary. They did win, but Huron couldn't complete it. And then lose 3 in a row, starting with a game against the Governors. The only penalty here is going against Watertown. How about that?
So unnecessary roughness, and Jaden Wiebe's fair catch occurs at the 33-yard line of the Arrows.
How about a starting spot in the red zone? That's what Pierre's going to have.
That'll do. If you're the Govs, so they'll have it at the 19-yard line. See if the Governors try to chew some clock here. 28-9, they have the lead, even though Keenholz has an empty backfield. Lewis in motion. They will throw over the middle. Pass was tipped, and a good job underneath by Althoff. Intended over the middle. for Jack Merkwan inside the 5.
Yeah, you're right. Merkwan was there too. Good play, though, by Alton. Lyman has scored. 4 minutes left on KPLO in press show. 9AA quarterfinal. Timberlake still on top by a score of 18-12.
Another good ball game there. Lots of good ones on quarterfinal night. You get those small classes and the 1s versus 16s. Not a lot of good football games, but or a lot of football games that aren't good games. But now this is the night where it's where it really gets interesting all around the state.
And you're right about 9-man. I got to follow 9-man all year with Stanley County, and that was just great fun.
2nd and 10. Inside handoff. Lewis turned the corner, had a little bit of running room, but the linebackers will close it off for the Arrows. Looks like Trey may get to the 15-yard line. Saw Brock Ettram in among the scrum for the Arrows, and the ball rests just inside that 15-yard stripe. 3rd and 5. We'll give him 4 to the 14. Clock is running off of that running play. Under 9 minutes to go. We're driven by the Office of Highway Safety of the state of South Dakota, telling us all, leave sooner, drive slower, live longer. This is Pierre Governor Football, your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7. KGFX FM Pierre. We're a member of DRG Media Group, live streaming with the help of Live Ticket on the River 92.7 page of drgnews.com. The Governors will take a timeout here, 3rd and 5 from the 14-yard line. We'll take it with them. 60-second break. Timeouts brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. Grab a Coke. Be back in 1 minute. The Governors lead 28-9 on River 92.7.
Dosey's Signs in Chamberlain isn't your run-of-the-mill sign shop. Todd and Doug take the time to listen to your needs and come up with an innovative and effective design to fit your budget and take your advertising to the next level. Dozy specializes in any size or event sporting banners, storefronts and awnings, and letters or numbers for windows, vehicle boats, and enclosed trailers. Need something more flashy? We can do a vehicle wrap, illuminated signs, billboards, and LED lighting. If you can dream it, we can design and build it. Dozy's is a proud sponsor of local sports and communities activities. At DK Auto Repair in Pierre, we take pride in our fast and professional auto service. Our well-trained techs specialize in transmission repair, tune-ups, brake service, suspension engine repair, auto diagnostics, and general maintenance repairs and oil changes. Making sure you and your family get from point A to point Z and all points in between is what motivates us to provide you exceptional service. At DK Auto Repair, we proudly support every Pierre Governors event, the students involved, and their families.
Back at Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field, little pitch pass here on the sweep to Trey Lewis. 3rd and 5 from the 14-yard line. Lewis inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line, and a first down. 8 yards there. I saw that play. They were working on it in practice the other day. One of those passes you see in the big levels right now a lot. It's cheap passing stats is what it is, but it turns into a pretty nice play. Lewis with an 8-yard reception now. Watertown getting through, and there again Hunter Wenches here as Keenols is taken down for a loss back to the 10.
Snap was low, and Lincoln had to kneel down to get it. Aberdeen Central is now inside the 5 of Brookings with 1:52 left, still leading Brookings 35-34. Remember, if Brookings falls and Piers win, the semifinal game would be right here.
Next Friday night. Here we've got 7:35 still to go. Pierre up 28-9. They're in a goal-to-goal situation, 2nd down, but a loss of 4 on that last play. Been some errant snaps at times over the course of the season, but that's the first one that bites the Governors tonight. Now over the middle, and Keenols can't complete. The pass was tipped by a Watertown defender. Brecken Kruger was in the area. Looks like the pass intended for Zabel. Kruger almost got in there and was able to knock it down.
Cole Holden did knock it down. Good play, too, because Zabel had some room.
Well, and Holden was behind Zabel. He got in there and kind of interrupted the route, but again, Kruger trailing the play just about. Was able to dive and haul that one in. Now 3rd and goal from the 10. 7:20 to go. Keenols right away throws to the pylon, but this one maybe needed a little more flotation underneath it, and Merkwan no chance to grab this one. We'll see if the Governors swap personnel. Looks like Cole Peterson will come in for a field goal attempt.
He is 2 for 4 this season. His longest 38.
This one will be from 27 yards, and he'll have to kick it from just inside the left hash mark, angle it back to the right. Keene holds the holder, Chase Sarr to the snapper. Snap spot, good. Kick, up, it's good. Three-pointer for Cole Peterson, 7:13 to play. The Governors will tack on 3 to up their lead to 22. It's now Pierre 31, Watertown 9. The Governors will kick when we return after a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Of all the things you can teach a child, how to handle money is one of the most important. Their knowledge, discipline, and control in the area of money will follow them wherever they may go, and in every area of their life. Teach them the facts of money. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you. When you expect more, you expect more. When you expect more, Dakota Prairie Bank.
Crowder Stadium at Hollister Field, the Governors get a help from a major penalty after a punt that was still taken on the arrow side of the field. Pierre actually runs 7 plays, 6 to be exact, from the Watertown 19-yard line. They take 2:11 off the clock, but a 27-yard field goal by Cole Peterson makes this one a little more difficult of a 3-possession game. The Governors lead 31-9, 7:13 to play. Peterson will kick off a squibber, couple of hops taken at the 19-yard line. Watertown will head up the far side. And what number are we looking at? Mac Johnson, a linebacker, with a pretty nice return out to the 30-yard line or so, and Watertown will try to make some plays happen quickly again.
In Brookings, Aberdeen Central has scored and kicked the extra point. 40-34. Aberdeen Central leading Brookings, a minute 43 left, so obviously it's not
42-34. 42 to 34.
What did I say?
You said 42-34.
I have no idea what I said.
That was ambiguous.
But anyway,
we're just trying to sort that out.
Thank you. It's an 8-point game, meaning it's not over yet. I'm glad you're looking out for me.
Norberg first down, needs to throw, rolling near side. He'll throw it away as Holden is in the area. Once again, the Governors are just absolutely prohibiting Cole Holden from catching any passes here in the second half.
But the point is, Brookings, well, they've got to move quickly, but again, touchdown and 2 could force overtime. Drama at Dana J. Dykow Stadium.
We've got 7 minutes even to go here. Second down and the play stopping after that incomplete pass. Drew Norberg. Second down, takes the snap. 5 receivers downfield. Here's Hudson as he comes out of the running back in a battle with Austin Foley back in coverage. Not a lot Hudson can do. It looked like, again, got his hands caught up trying to battle against the defender, and Watertown is really, I got to tell you, 3 weeks ago it looked like the passing offense would be their bread and butter, but Juven Hudson earlier on, the way he was running the football, looked like that would be their best opportunity, but the Governor defense is just doing what the Governor defense does in the postseason. Norberg flushed out again, tries to thread one in, and Deegan Huska comes up with the football. Ashton first in trouble was in the pattern. I really thought this one was short hop, but they say it's a Huska interception.
Well, if Deegan did pick it up off the turf, he made a fantastic play. And, first in trouble thought that ball was coming to him. And Huska covered him well, too, and then turned around to make the pick. Yeah, you're right in everything you say about what's going on. Watertown obviously had no choice when they fell behind 3 scores. They had to start throwing the ball, but it's a team, and they've shown it. They've gotten more and more frustrated as this game has gone along.
So Huska with the second pick of the Watertown quarterback by the Governors tonight, the 3rd turnover overall for the Arrows. And Pierre will try to run more clock here. Twins in the backfield. Cade Kaiser gets a carry here. He'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, cutting up the middle of the field. Tackled by Mac Johnson. He might get nope, it's still to the 46 for a gain of 0.
Brookings is to their own 48. 52 seconds to play at Dana J. Dykehouse. Remember, they need to score and make a 2 to tie. Aberdeen Central leads 42-34.
2nd and 9.5 here. 6:15 to go. Governors up 31-9, in very good shape to move on and possibly have a home game next week instead of hitting the road. Keenholz will wait as long as he can. Back judge now. Tucker Kingsbury counting it down. So Keenholz will clap, get the snap, hand off. Trey Lewis met by 2 arrows immediately. You can see him trying to wrestle the ball loose. 27, Austin Johnson. 28, Mac Young, both there. And the Governors don't really care about the loss on the play. They just want to run as much clock as possible. And this one, even though a loss of 2, maybe 3, back to the 48-yard line.
And a good aggressive tackle by Young, and did what you just said it. He needed to do, tried to force that ball away from him. Didn't do it, though.
So now 3rd down. Governors still have 3 out wide, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Ball in the middle of the hash marks. Keenholz has it again. Now he wants to throw, and he wants his man, Merkwan, near side, and Jack out of bounds. The pass was not caught anyway. Had he come down with that at the 10-yard line, his feet would have been out of bounds this time.
Blanketed, too, and good coverage by Ashton, first in trouble.
So the Governors go 3 and out here, probably will punt from the 48-yard line, and should punt.
Yeah, it should. Brookings is to the 41-yard line of Aberdeen Central with a timeout. 28 seconds left, and again, Aberdeen Central leading 42-34.
Golden Eagles against the Governors showed that offensive ability. They put 35 up on the Govs.
No, they
scored. The week after the Arrows put 42 on the Govs.
No, they had a big third quarter tonight.
Keenholz punts for what, the 3rd time tonight, first in trouble, back to his 10-yard line. And he comes up the middle of the field. About a 10-yard return to the 20-yard line. Looks like maybe to the 19. Could hear the crowd below us getting restless again. But Watertown has it. Maybe, obviously, time running short. If they're going to make a big play in a hurry, they definitely need to do it now.
It's got to be now.
And I mean, you still know that Watertown is capable of doing that, but they just haven't been able to shake the Governor defenders. And we said it earlier, what the Governors did in the last 2 games of the season last year, playing 2 teams for a second time, figuring things out. Whoever is up in front of the Governors just needs to know that you're not going to play the same game you did the first time around. Juven Hudson, pretty run here. In traffic, juking and jiving for about 8 up across the 25 to the 27-yard line.
Nope, you and I were at the Brookings game of the Dakota Dome in that championship game, and the defense was wonderful about that night. But how they adjusted defensively in that semifinal against Yankton, that was amazing.
They're 2nd and 2. Norberg back to throw. Governors again in the backfield. There's him and Anderson, but Norberg is able to run this one out of bounds on the Governors' side. That'll be a 1st down pickup, so a good play here for Drew Norberg out across the 30-yard line.
A sack has just put Brookings back to the Aberdeen Central 47. It is 4th down. Here's the last chance coming up for the Bobcats. 12 seconds left. Aberdeen Central leading Brookings 42-34.
4-yard gain on the scramble for Norberg, 1st and 10. Clock stops, 4:28 to play. 1st down, throwing, far side, overshoots Colin Dingsor. And a no-go there. It'll be 2nd down on the incomplete pass. Norberg has missed on his last 7 attempts, 2 of which have been picked off by the Governors.
Brookings is stopped at the 36-yard line of Aberdeen Central, short of the 1st down. Aberdeen Central is going to win it, 42-34. If the Governors hang on, they don't have to go anywhere a week from tomorrow. How about that?
Sounds like a plan. All right, near hash mark here, 4:24 left, 2nd down. Pocket collapsing on Norberg again. Makes a fake, cuts. Now he'll get pushed out of bounds. Huska will finish him at the 35. Another good scramble for Drew Norberg, but it's really not what he's looking for. He'd much rather be able to throw the ball and pick up yards in chunks. 4 yards this time would make it 3rd and 6.
Well, this is impressive, really, Brian, for Aberdeen Central to do this. And again, you said it was a long time ago that they played Brookings. A tight game then, and Brookings had the offense, but Sam Rolfs had more.
3rd and 6, pass thrown a little slow to Dingsor, and Jacob Mayer cuts underneath it, and he'll get it knocked down here. Good play defensively. Look at the Governors here. They're up by 22. They pretty much have this game in hand as long as they don't make mistakes to give up big plays. And Jacob Mayer still playing at a high speed and making a great defensive play. Governors don't care what the situation is right now. They just want to get this game over with, and the best way to do that is to get the ball back right here. 4th down and 6. Norberg needs another one. Here comes Jaden Floor. He'll be pushed out of bounds by Josh Strand. That'll be a quarterback sack, and the Governors will take over on downs. I think that was a loss on the play. Governor coaches are coming out of their hiding space, and they're calling this one themselves.
Yep, this is a 6-yard loss, in fact, so it is a sack. And what an effort by the Governor defense. There is the last snap. It is official. Aberdeen Central defeats Brookings 42-34. Again, if the Governors hang on, they host the semifinal game a week from tomorrow against Aberdeen Central. How about that?
29-yard line where the Governors have it here of the Watertown Arrows. Jaden Wiebe in at tailback here. He'll get a carry on 1st down, up the middle, and a pretty good surge for the junior. Watertown will take a timeout. That'll be their second, I believe, of the second half. Let's take a timeout with them with 3:59 to play. 2nd and 6 for the Govs when we come back after this 30-second Coca-Cola timeout. You're listening to Pierre Governor Football.
Right from the start, it's our promise to you that sets us apart. With every handshake and a smile, we go that extra mile. When you expect more, you expect more. When you expect more, Dakota Prairie Bank.
This is Randy Schumacher, owner of Capital City Monuments. When the time comes for you to consider the purchase of a memorial, be it ahead of time for yourself or for a loved one who has passed, I am here to help. I have 27 memorials on display in my office. We can design the memorial together when you visit. My reputation has been built on integrity, trust, and caring service to families. I am located across from Hardware Hank on Main Street. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you and your family at Capital City Monuments.
Crowd reacting. They know they're barring a miracle here. A miracle collapse by the Governors. The crowd knows that they'll be able to watch another game on the Governor home field. 2nd and 6 out of the Watertown timeout. Jaden Wiebe, the tailback. It's another one up the middle. And, boy, a lot of action there. People were going 3 different directions. I kind of lost the ball carrier, but Wiebe gets wrestled back. Maybe a gain inside the 25. They'll give it to the 23. That's a pickup of 2 as the Arrows will call another timeout here. And let's take one more with them. Coca-Cola breaking the action. 30 seconds. Govs lead 31-9 with 3:52 to play. This is Governor postseason football.
Briggs Trucking and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota.
Good to see. Brock Moser is back in there and actually had those carries.
Brock on 1st down got 4, gets 2 on 2nd down, so 3rd and 4. But he is out of the backfield here. He's over to the slot right side as Lincoln Keenholz alone in the backfield. Keenholz out of that Watertown timeout, decides to throw, floating it, goal line, caught, touchdown, Brecken Kruger. And the Governors able to put one more score on the board.
Cousin to cousin again, and a great reach for that one by Brecken Kruger. And there's someone that's going to be awfully important, you think, to 2022. But he's done the job tonight in place of Matthew Hansen. Really nice catch there.
23 yards this time. Kruger's third grab of the night. And the Governors up the lead to 37-9. Cole Peterson will try to tack on one more. The Arrows are coming, but they won't get there. And now we'll have a couple of flags thrown after the play. And more frustration here, but the Governors up the lead to 38-9. We'll take a 30-second break, and the Governors will kick after unsportsmanlike conduct is ruled against the Arrows and against the Governors. Those will offset, and the Governors will kick. When we come back in 30 seconds, the Governors in real good shape here on River 92.7.
Smart Grocery rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
When you're in the need for high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
Down pass with 5 seconds left, and the Panthers win it 24-18. Who do they get in the semifinal? How about the Platte Geddes Black Panthers?
Oh, wow.
Defending champs, they knock off Hansen tonight in Alexandria in overtime, 26-24.
Good win for the BPs there. Great season again for Lyman, and they're still going to be back next year. Meanwhile, after the kickoff, nothing hurt on the penalties. Nicole Peterson kicks one, picked up at the about the 20-yard line. Nice spin move out there, but not much further. The Arrows will have another long field on which to play. Owen Sparts on the return there. 38-9, the Governors leading, 3:41 to go. Watertown, I'm trying to remember if they had a timeout earlier. They took 2 timeouts on that last Governor possession, 2 timeouts defensively. They may have one more to use, but they'll start on their own 24-yard line here with only 3:41 to play.
Can we lobby to have that put on the scoreboard here? Just asking.
Oh, the timeouts left?
Yes.
Yeah. So here comes Drew Norberg again. Still would like to see this guy throw the football because that is good entertainment, really, especially like when he was hooking up with Cole Holden a few weeks ago. But Watertown will, at least on first down, run clock. Juven Hudson, who is just a sophomore, by the way. Yeah. He's going to be back another couple of years. Going to be fun to watch. He'll get 6 on this play up to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, he's a good runner, yeah.
But Drew Norberg, the senior quarterback, Cole Holden, the senior receiver, will play out what'll be, most likely, their final high school football games. Here's a flag that'll be thrown. Maybe have a pre-snap penalty, false start against the Arrows.
We'll run over everything in the postgame, but in 9B, Harriet Selby area remains unbeaten. They held off Castle, or 9A, I should say. They held off Castlewood 48-32. They get Wall in the semis next week. 9B, Potter County wins again. They're 9-2. Ended up running away from a pretty good Hitchcock-Tulare team. As you said, a 6-point game in the regular season. Not tonight. Potter County wins 48-8.
And who are they going to get? Faulkton area, most likely. You haven't mentioned Faulkton tonight.
And they won. 48-22 over Harding County Bison.
That'll be a good 2-12 battle there. Hudson leaping over a man in the backfield, trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, or what is the line of scrimmage after a 5-yard penalty, but not much here. Governor defense came to play tonight as kind of going to have a choice to make, and a tough one at that when we talk about players of the game coming up in the post game, so stay tuned for that.
Well, it's some deliberating to do.
Discuss.
Yes.
Third down and 8, far hash mark. Norberg throwing. Deep slant pass here. Pass is caught. Wiebe is there, and he'll bring the receiver down. As we take a look, and that is 33, Dalton Baumberger, a 165-pound junior. If I saw, that's 33, so a good catch here and a good play. First down.
Which reminds me of the Baumberger runner from Miller. How about the Rustlers winning their first boys cross-country team championship last weekend?
It's an 11-yard pickup here. Norberg's first completion in about 8 attempts. Back to the ground, though, to run out the string. Watertown is not using a timeout if they have one left. We're under 2 minutes to go, 1:45 to be exact, and counting. Hudson up to the 44. Check at the 39, a gain of 2.
Now, this is going to extend a streak that has gone on a while. This is going to be playoff loss number 8 in a row. Remember, these teams played in the 2013 AA title game. Were you there?
I was there. Yep, the first one for the Governors. Here's Baumberger again, and he may have lost the football. And the Governors will have it. Will they call this a completed catch and fumble? They will. Baumberger with a catch, but a fumble. Deegan Huska comes away with it. Not sure who had the hit, but the Governors just made one final play to put this one on ice.
I think it was Huska. But yeah, boy, you just, I kind of wish we had 11 T-shirts, because this defense would deserve every one of them tonight for how they reacted after that first play from scrimmage for Watertown, the 74-yarder from Norberg to Holden. Well, since then they have just put the clamps down. But as you have said, that is pure postseason defense.
That one play was kind of reminiscent about the Governors' trip to Yankton this year, where the Governors were able to get a long touchdown pass on their first play from scrimmage, something they were kind of waiting to do. That's just something that they saw in film on that Yankton defense. But Watertown probably had that idea in mind right away, maybe for the last several days in scouting this team. But once again, even on that night, Yankton's defense held the Governors in check. The Governors this time hold serve as well. Kane Holes is nailing on shotgun snaps. And he'll run up and save some yardage here. The first one back to the 43, this one to the 46.
At least it doesn't count against him. It only counts against the team.
That goes. I say it all the time. That goes against his rushing stats.
What a job by the Governors. This is so impressive as he kneels down again to end it. But, a Pierre team, the pedigree is there. 2 wins away from what they hope is a 5th straight title. But defense made the difference last year in the postseason, and it did again tonight. Well,
and nobody's got the experience right now that the Governors and their coaching staff has. It might be a different cast of characters, certainly not in some of the skill positions, certainly not at the most important position on the field, the quarterback, but the Governor defense does the job tonight. Instead of 52-42 that it was 3 weeks ago, tonight your final score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard: the Pierre Governors 38 and the Watertown Arrows 9. The Governors improved to 8-2 on the season. Watertown, do not be fooled by the record. They're a good football team, but their season will come to an end at a mark of 3-7. Another thing about Watertown, I think they'll enjoy being in 11 AA, like Coach Hodorff mentioned to me yesterday when I was talking to him. He said it's different than being in 11 AAA when you lose in the last week of the regular season to Sioux Falls, Washington, 56-0, and have to turn right back around and go back and play Washington again. The kids aren't up for that. Well, tonight the kids were ready to come back here and play the Governors, but the Governors just the better team tonight.
Nothing against Washington or Roosevelt, but those are the teams they'd lost to in the playoffs in the last several opportunities. Yeah. So I'm sure it's a really nice change for them. They're going to have to replace a heck of a quarterback, but there's talent and receiver, but there'll be talent back for this team.
Absolutely. So, again, Gales Gas Service scoreboard, 38-9. The Governors win it. Use their budget plan and keep full service to stay warm all season long with Gales Gas Service in Pierre. We'll get Steve Steele up here to talk about this one. Our postgame coming up, sponsored by Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg. The Governors moving on to the 11 AA semifinals. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, and our Family Dental postgame will commence. This is Pierre Governor postseason football.
The team at Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg are devoted to spending time with each patient to answer all questions and address any concerns that arise. Family Dental wants all of their current and future patients to feel welcome and comfortable, and to have the healthiest and best-looking smile possible. They can take care of all of your family's dental needs with cleanings, checkups, implants, same-day crowns, and many other dental services. Dr. Ryan Jensen welcomes new patients too. Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg, caring for all of your family's dental needs.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, BankWest has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. BankWest Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose BankWest. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Hello and happy fall from all of us here at Beck Motor Company of Pierre. My name is Chris Koenig. I purchase vehicles for our pre-owned inventory. With the holiday seasons rapidly approaching, I want to pad your wallet now and give you cash for your car, truck, or SUV. Do not miss your opportunity to possibly get up to thousands more to trade or simply sell us your vehicle. No stress, less time, and money in your pocket. Call me, Chris Koenig, at 605-224-5912 or stop in anytime for a no-obligation appraisal. Hope to see you soon.
There's an app for everything, including high school sports from the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app, brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino, from the App Store or Google Play. It only takes a moment, so you'll have it to replay this game. See live and archived video of all games. And when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota high school sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app, brought to you by the Golden Buffalo Casino. Download it now at the App Store or Google Play.
Welcome back to Phil Troutner Stadium in Hollister Field, and welcome to our Leiden & Associates Ameriprise Financial post-game show as the Governors lead 21-9 at the half. They go on to outscore the Watertown Arrows 17-0 in the second half, and again, that's another good indication of how well this Governor defense was able to play tonight as they defeat the Arrows in this one by the score of 38-9. Brian Oakland with David Burrell in this one, and again, first half scoring had Lincoln Keenholz with a 2-yard run and a 1-yard run, but in between that, Watertown's first play from scrimmage after the Governors led 7-0 was a 74-yard touchdown from Drew Norberg to Cole Holden. That made it 7-7, but again, the Govs came right back, and again, the tone set right away when Jaden Wiebe returned a kickoff all the way to the Watertown 29-yard line, but that set the tone with a big special teams play. Watertown also got a safety, sacking Lincoln Keenholz in the end zone to make it 14-9 with 3:37 left. But since from there, you see the Governors outscore the Arrows 24-0, and the final score of the first half was a Lincoln Keenholz to Jackson Edmond 5-yard strike. That after a big pass play from Keenholz to Jet Zabel put him down to the 5, 21-9, our halftime score. In the second half, after Watertown had to punt on their first possession, the Governors go 81 yards in 7 plays in a little over 3 minutes. Keenholz hooking up with Jack Merkwan, his favorite target, from 40 yards out. Cole Peterson's PAT made it 28-9 with 6 minutes to go in the third. Fast forward to the 7:13 mark of the fourth quarter. A Governor defense that gives the Govs the ball on a very short field, and they kick a field goal, 27 yards for Cole Peterson to make it 31-9, and then with 3:45 left, a 29-yard drive with Lincoln Keenholz connecting with Brecken Kruger from 23 yards out for that final score, 38-9. Coach Steve Steele is up to talk about it, and Coach, the offense did a lot of great things, but man, defense in the postseason, that's starting to become a Governor trademark here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's a heck of a football game from those guys. Take away the first play, and they did nothing. So, outstanding effort from them. And, I said offensively we did enough. I think that's kind of been the mindset last year, and kind of going in there, let's get a lead, and then let's just keep doing enough. We got to match them strike for strike.
It's just this thing about that you showed it last year. You play a team a second time around, a team that plays you well. Last year you lost a couple of games. You avenge both of those losses. This Watertown team played you real tough just 3 weeks ago. Something different defensively, though, prevents those big plays after the first one of the game. And what is it about you guys and your conversations? Don't give a lot away, but what are you talking about over the course of the week that you have to prepare for this Arrow team tonight?
Well, I think the biggest thing, our coaching staff does a tremendous job of, we kind of play not super vanilla during the offensive, or the regular season. We don't necessarily put in a whole bunch of tricks, and then once we get into the playoffs, we kind of have everything stored up. And then that's when we kind of start to use all those different things, and so we've got different defensive things in, different offensive things in, and you're kind of storing those away until the time you need them. And tonight we needed it, and they did a great job with it.
And it doesn't matter what the game plan is; it's the execution. It's the kids buying into the to what you guys are teaching and preaching, and they're going out and making plays all night long.
Yeah, and they did an outstanding job shutting down number 3 is a special receiver. That kid is incredible. I don't think he had a couple touches today where he had 3 guys draped over him, and he still caught the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow. So he's a guy that it's really hard to totally shut down, but our guys just did an incredible job on him.
And to that point, after the first big play, and you've seen it the first time you played, but was the thought, okay, they've got their big play, now we know what we're going to do about it?
Yeah, and a lot of that the first time, or that first play, we started with that base game plan from last time, and like, okay, was that a one-time thing where they were able to do this on us all the time, or is this an every-time thing? And then, okay, touche, you hit it on us, now we're going to go to the next plan, and that's kind of the philosophy we've had is, that first game plan obviously did work, so you kind of start with that and then move from there.
Single coverage just wasn't the way to cover that guy on that on that first play, and you figured that out. And the other stat that I love on defense, 8 sacks. I've got you, and also 4 takeaways too.
Yeah, outstanding job by our coaching staff on the defense, drawing up all these different pressures and mixing up personnel. I think that was another thing. Coach Nas did an outstanding job rotating through defensive linemen. They didn't necessarily all make the score sheet, but when you're rolling 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 guys through the defensive line, everyone's fresh.
We're calling a lot of names tonight on defense.
So when they're able to stay fresh like that, you can keep getting those pressures because you're not getting a tired defensive lineman out there, and pass rushing is exhausting. Yeah. It's a really tiring thing to continue to do. So, I think that was a great job by him and our defensive staff.
And in at least 3 of those was Emmett Anderson. And I compared him to what Jaden Floor did for you last year. You just had to keep playing him because he kept making plays. Now you're having to keep playing Emmett Anderson because he keeps making plays.
Yeah, and it's not a bad comparison there, and I said he's the fortunate one right now of everyone knows who Jaden Floor is. Last year no one really knew who Jaden was, and everyone was worried about Gunner and Preston, and now Jaden's that guy that they're devoting extra resources to, and Emmett's the beneficiary of one-on-one where he's got some crazy good pass rush moves. So I said it's a perfect opportunity for him to swipe hands and run.
Offensively tonight, things that weren't happening last week, plays that weren't being made, certainly were being made tonight. It's good to see good to see that big play offense come to play. Jet Zabel making plays where Matthew Hansen was out tonight. Of course, Brecken Kruger coming in, and just more guys stepping in to fill the void.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun just seeing all of our guys, and Jack Snedman got into the end zone today. It was just really good to see everybody. There's never a bad number to call right now on offense, and that's the funnest part about coaching this group is you can't go wrong. We've got plays kind of designed for everybody a little bit, and Lincoln's done a great job just going through the progressions, and he doesn't have to care and focus on, I've got to throw him the ball, I've got to get him the ball, because everybody's good right now.
All right, I think you know it. But you don't have to go anywhere next week. Aberdeen Central, I think, did win, but that's not exactly a sigh of relief. They came here, or you went there, and they gave you all sorts of a tough time. And, oh, boy, they really came through against Brookings tonight. They will be ready. Yeah,
they're going to come out and they're going to do different things. Just it was a very similar game to our Watertown game in the regular season. Very similar deal. And, it's exciting. We'll get to be at home. That's awesome. We'll get to finish our season here, I guess, until we know we're on the road one way or another. But I said at the same point in time, a little disappointed we didn't go to avenge one of those losses, but that's okay. Being home's not a bad thing either.
And you probably won't be up 32-0 against that team next week, or maybe you will. I don't know.
That'd be cool if we were.
Maybe not in the first quarter at least. But again, another opportunity for the defensive minds to get together and come up with a game plan that we can't wait to see. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're excited to not have to travel anywhere next week. And, like I said, we're just ready to get back to work now and get back down to Vermilion.
All right. Coach, we're looking forward to that too. It's it doesn't matter who you play. I think you got the experience advantage, and that's what everybody has to. I mean, that's half the battle for other teams, or maybe that's half the advantage for you on this night, and hopefully we'll be next week too.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
All right, so we'll see you next Friday night, Coach. Great win.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
38-9, the Governors defeat the Watertown Arrows. That's head coach Steve Steele, and our post-game show from Family Dental Offices. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll be back with more. David and I will continue. Of course, a look at all of the scores coming up. We'll give you the rest of the stats, and, of course, we've got big plays of the game and your player of the game still to announce. When we return with more of our Family Dental post-game in 2 minutes, this is Governor Postseason Football.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram.
Hey DQ fans, we happily invite all of you to join us for Miracle Treat Day, the day when all of your favorite Blizzard flavors come with a much-needed dose of hope. Today, for every Blizzard sold, $1 or more will be donated to your local Children's Miracle Network hospital, making Miracle Treat Day the most satisfying way to give back. Visit your DQ today and bring hope to kids in your community.
There's one place to watch Pierre Governors sports online, and that's liveticket.tv. Go Govs Live is where you can find Pierre Governors sports online. And the folks at Live Ticket thank all of the sponsors that help make sure this all brought to you for free. And if you'd like to sponsor Pierre Governors sports, just call Live Ticket at 833-605-LIVE. That's 833-605-LIVE. Pierre Governors sports. Watch them online with Live Tickets.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The Garage Doors. The Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
We're back at Phil Troutner Stadium at Hollister Field, and our Family Dental post-game continues. Brian Oakland with David Burrell as the Governors defeat Watertown tonight 38-9. Gave you the recap of the second half, at least the scoring plays. Here's the stats that all spelled the story. 77 yards rushing for the Governors. It's enough rushing, I think, to go along with the passing offense that they had. Lincoln Keenholz, 57 yards on 13 carries tonight, including 3 kneel downs for negative yardage. But Trey Lewis gets a good game. 10 carries, 21 yards. You're not really running to pick up first downs necessarily, unless that's how it works, but you're running to set up the pass, and I think Lewis did the job there tonight. Brock Mosier gets a couple of carries late in the game. Good to see him back after a couple of games missed due to injury. Cade Kaiser had 1 carry, got back to the line of scrimmage. Cole Peterson had 1 carry early in the second half, but lost 7 yards on it, so 77 total yards for the Governors. Through the air, though, Keenholz throws 16 out of 27 yards, 276 total yards of passing offense, and 2 touchdowns. Did throw an interception tonight, but was also sacked 3 times for losses of 9 yards. So the Governors with 267 total passing, 77 on the ground, and 344 total yardage gained here. Meanwhile, for the receivers, Jack Merkwan catches 6 passes for 81 yards, had a 40-yard touchdown to really open this one up in the second half. Jet Zabel had a good night, 2 big plays receiving, a 24-yarder and a 65-yarder, both of which set up Governor scores tonight, 89 yards on 2 catches. Cade Kaiser catches 3 passes for 43 yards. Brecken Kruger has 3 catches for a total of 48 yards, including the final score of the night, the 23-yard touchdown. Trey Lewis with an 8-yard grab, and Jackson Edmond a catch from 5 yards out for a score as well. 10 first downs for the Governors, just the 1 turnover. They were guilty of 8 penalties tonight that were marked against and accepted here this evening. But 344 total offense for Pierre compared to 236 for the Watertown Arrows. I had the Arrows at 193 at halftime. So unofficially just 43 total yards the entire second half. There's another indication of how well that Governor defense played tonight. Total yards 92 on the ground, led by Juven Hudson. 20 carries, 81 yards to lead the Arrow ground attack. Drew Norberg, 8 carries. 8 yards on 3 carries. Reese Stark had 2 carries for 3 yards. He left with an injury. Hopefully he'll be ready to go for the winter sports season without too much difficulty, though. Owen Sparts, 2 carries, 1 yard, and Ashton First in trouble, lost 2 yards on a jet sweep carry. So 92 on the ground. Through the air, Norberg, who was pushing 400 yards when the Arrows came here a few weeks ago. Tonight, he'll settle for 191, 12 out of 24 overall, 1 touchdown. The first play of the game for Watertown on offense, 74 yards to Cole Holden, but he throws 2 picks. And again, big sack number, 8 sacks for the Governors, pushing the Arrows back 47 total yards. So 144 yards of net passing, 92 on the ground, 236 overall. Cole Holden catches 4 passes for 93 yards, including the 74-yard touchdown. Colin Dingsor will finish with 57 yards on 3 catches. Reese Stark with an 11-yarder. Trevin Rodden with a 10-yard catch. Baumberger late in the game, 2 catches with 11 yards, and Juven Hudson with a 9-yard grab as well. The Arrows pick up 11 first downs, but 2 fumbles lost and 2 interceptions thrown. The Governors with 4 takeaways tonight, and the Governors moving on with a 38-9 victory.
24 passes thrown. That's another interesting number because Norberg was approaching 50 in the regular season meeting. So, again, another indication of what this Governor defense did, especially, again, I keep going back to the first play, and we said it with Coach Steele, but after that, it was just, okay, we know what to clamp down now and how to do it, and we did it.
Unable to sustain drives. And here's another thing, too, and if you need another indication, Watertown, let's make that the Governors. Their last 5 possessions started on the Watertown side of the 50-yard line, and not even close to the 50. I mean, they had one at the 46, one at the 38, 37, 33, of course, one as deep as the 29-yard line, but then after a penalty, they were pushed to the 19-yard line. I mean, the Governors spent the whole second half, except for the first 2 possessions, on the Watertown side of the field. And that's because the Governor D forcing turnovers and sacking quarterbacks, and Watertown just was not able to sustain drives tonight. We're going to talk players of the game, and it's going to be hard to pick against a defensive player. But let's start by talking about big plays in the game. I know what my big play of the game is going to be. Big plays in our broadcast are brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre, and we'll listen to this from them, and we'll give you the turning point in this game for my money. Maybe David will agree. We'll see after this 30-second timeout in our Governor post game.
Quality comes first at Hermanson Endodontics. Dr. Brian Hermanson serves Central South Dakota with specialty root canal treatment. Hermanson Endodontics strives to provide treatment that is not only comfortable, but also provides the best possible outcome. They do this by effective and timely communication with your dentist and preserving as much of the tooth as possible using state-of-the-art 3-dimensional imaging and the dental operating microscope to guide diagnosis and treatment. Ask your dentist if a root canal specialist is right for you. Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre.
Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre offering up our big play of the game tonight. And of course, Watertown put in probably the first, well, let's go back to the first play of the game, the opening kickoff. Jaden Weeby with a 67-yard kickoff return, maybe setting the stage a little bit. Governors were set up on the 29-yard line of the Watertown Arrows. They scored 9 plays later, took a 7-0 lead. Watertown not phased, 74 yards over the top from Norberg to Holden to tie it at 7-7, but the Governor offense came back and scored again. There was that safety by the Arrows at 14-9, and then Watertown was poised after the only turnover by the Governors tonight at a Keenholz interception thrown. The Arrows had it on the Governor 42-yard line. They get all the way down to the 6-yard line. A delay of game penalty pushed them back to the 11. Kind of curious how that happened on a first down play, but the next play was the biggest play of the game, and that's when Chase Sarda came around and strip sacked Drew Norberg, and he was able to pick up his own strip fumble, and he returned it to the 30-yard line. From there, the Governors threw a 65-yard pass to Jet Zabel all the way to the 5-yard line, and then the next play, Jackson Edmond from 5 yards out made it 21-9. But that strip sack that turned the game around. Watertown could have taken the lead, and they were 6 yards out from doing that. But Chase Sarda makes a big play.
Part of an excellent game he played, too. I'll go a step further than what you said. I'm still mystified by that delay of game penalty because they were in such a great spot, and Drew Norberg had the chance. The official standing in the back of the end zone. I looked right at the back judge. He kept counting it down and counting it down. I thought, doesn't Drew Norberg see this? And apparently he didn't. It was the next play that the strip sack happened, and then all the rest of the good for Pierre.
Obviously, when you're trying to figure out what the Governor defense was doing tonight, it's not the easiest thing in the world, and that's the way it happened. But strip sack and the fumble recovery, it's the triple threat for Chase Sarda on that big play of the game, brought to you by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre. Players of the game, we've got a difficult decision to make here tonight. We'll talk about it. We'll take a 30-second break. Player of the game sponsored by Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre, and that is next in our Family Dental postgame.
Anytime is a good time for Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. Fill up your tank and your stomach. Heading to the campground, hunting the fields, fishing the waters, Cowboy Country Stores are ready for you. Feed the family while on the go with delicious food. Breakfast starting at 5 a.m. Fresh baked pastries, coffee, regular and breakfast pizzas, Federal Bird Stands, convenience with a capital C. Cowboy Country Stores and Champs Chicken on Euclid and Harrison in Pierre and in Fort Pierre.
Players of the game in this one, and of course it's going to be all about the defense tonight with the way the Governors played, especially in the second half. But let's pat the back of a lot of good players on the Watertown side as well, even though after that first play of the game, it just wasn't Norberg and Holden's night on offense. Juven Hudson, very shifty runner. Going to be fun to watch him here in the next couple of years. On defense, Ben Althoff makes a couple of big stops, and Mac Johnson, those linebackers, really good for Watertown. Unfortunately, all three of them have played their final football game in an Arrow uniform as well. So pat on the back as Watertown has really given a lot of teams fits. They could have been record-wise a lot better than 3-7, but that's the nature of 11 AA here as this season has gone. But let's talk about the Governor defense, aside from what they did on offense and a lot of good things. But, I mean, where do we begin? After the first play of the game, Jaden Wiebe is in coverage most of the night on Cole Holden. He's not heard from for most of the rest of the night. So Jaden Wiebe is a candidate for players of the game. We talked about guys on the D-line like Jaden Floor, and even I think Kyle Albertson gets a defensive start. He made plays. Brady Getz making defensive plays and a lot of tackles for loss.
Deegan Huska had a very good game.
Gavin Stotts playing with a heavy heart tonight. Had a great start to this game, tackling everybody, carrying the football. But there was one guy who continues to play better, and he made big plays. 8 sacks by the Governors, and he had at least 3 of them.
Emmett Anderson.
It's Emmett Anderson, and no doubt about it.
The point Steve Steele made was a really good one. Getting a pass rush is not, I got to get back to the quarterback. He talked about the moves that Emmett Anderson has to, and to be a good pass rusher, you can't run on a straight line all the time. You've got to be able to be deceptive, and Emmett Anderson as a sophomore is learning that very quickly.
And absolutely quickly. I thought you were going to say very well. I was going to say quickly, but
yes.
So big game for Emmett Anderson, the sophomore defender tonight, as he'll be tonight's Cowboy Country Stores player of the game. He'll get a T-shirt noting his accomplishments. Big game for the Governors, a postseason win, and the Governors haven't lost a postseason game in quite some time. We won't worry about that. But their next one comes up a week from tomorrow night, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Emmett Anderson is tonight's Cowboy Country Store's player of the game. So the Governors now get Aberdeen Central, who goes to Brookings and knocks off the Bobcats. That's a 7 seed beating a 2 seed. 11AA is not the only class where that happened tonight, so it's not unheard of, no doubt about that. But it will be Aberdeen Central, 4-6 on the season. Brookings ends 7-3. Aberdeen Central against 7-3 Pierre, the 7 seed out of 3. And we'll assume that to be 7 o'clock, the kickoff, 6:25 pregame next Friday night, not Thursday, next Friday night, until we hear otherwise as far as that kickoff time.
I'm sure that'd be, probably.